What's going on, guys? Hey, Repeat back with you, and what is today? It's Thursday night, but it's a special night. We've got the Fast Family League Showdown wildcard race live from Michigan International Speedway. Y'all have heard the voice of Worm Rider many, many times, but the other guy with me, if you haven't seen the Twitter or seen the Facebook posts, I was able to get the one and only HD Motorsports out of retirement to call this race. HD Motorsports, thank you very much for coming out. Worm, always glad to see you and hear your voice. Welcome, both of you. HD, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Pete. I'm glad to be back. I can't say I wasn't enjoying sitting on the beach drinking a little cold drink, but I was getting some sunburn out there, being red hair and all. But no, glad to be back, Pete. Glad to be calling another race for you. And my first race here on NASCAR Heat 5, actually.
Well, welcome to it, man. Hopefully, you are a good luck charm. You're going to keep all the bad juju out of the way. We've had some server bumps here lately, but man, I'm glad you're back with you. As I said before, it's great to hear your voice again. Um, and yeah, we'll touch a little bit more on that a little bit later. Worm Rider, we've been waiting to call a race together for quite a while. What did you think the chances would be where we're in a race together and it's where IVRL is hanging on by a thread, hoping to advance to the next round? How are you, man?
Man, I am great, but man, I hate I'm having to be here for this. Love being here, but hate having to see my guys in it. But man, it's these 25 drivers. It is going to be off the wall tonight. Hyped
Yeah.
up for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I mean we've got five very very deserving teams that just didn't they just didn't quite have the edge during the last round. And to talk a little bit about that, we're going to bring in one of the two commissioners, Slide Job, ENEA, TNT, SXRL, OMA, and IVRL. Five very very strong powerhouse teams. How are you tonight, sir?
I am doing great, and I'll tell you what, we are in the wild card race, and the word wild is in here for a reason. We not only have commentators coming back from retirement, we also have 5 teams, a couple of which are actually, to a surprise to many, being here. So it's going to be a wild night. We have a different track that we've never seen before. We have a bigger field than we normally do, and for the first time, we have 5 different teams competing instead of 3 or 2. It's going to be madness, and I'll just kind of go through how these teams got here. So the first race of this round, it was OMA versus eSpark, and OMA just got outran. eSpark with a dominant win. OMA guys holding on there, but they found themselves in the hole quickly in the first stage, and they are ready to prove that they've got more in the tank tonight. The second race was the closest one of them all. It was NAR TNT. TNT only lost by just over 20 points. It was a very closely matched battle. NAOR just edging out TNT, so I'm sure TNT is thinking, man, I have so much more to prove tonight. We're going to show what we really have. The third one, I think, was the biggest upset of the tournament so far. We had American Ethanol knocking off SXRL, the bye winner, from round 1. So a lot of people thinking SXRL was going to take that one, but they got beat, and they didn't just get beat by a little bit. They got beat by quite a margin. So they will be, in redemption mode tonight, and to show everyone why they got that bye and what kind of team they really are. Moving on, we had IVRL and CRL, with CRL taking the upsetting win over IVRL as well with another pretty large margin. So, IVRL, again, one of those teams that, they were in the hole in round 1, but they were dragged themselves out of it in that race, and here they are again facing elimination, so we'll see what they can do. And last but not least, we had NNR absolutely demolish ENEA in that last race. So, I'm sure ENEA is thinking, man, that we just had a bad race. That is not how we raced in the first 2 rounds. So we've got 5 hungry teams, Pete, that are looking to show that they are more than their last performance. So I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, absolutely. 42 teams, as you just said, over 500 people. To go back to SXRL, I think there was a lot of conversation in Discord and Facebook and chats and all everywhere after American Ethanol won that race. People were saying, "Oh, they just got lucky." No, they did it on strategy. Nobody expected a team on a restrictor plate to short pit that early and then come on back around where SXRL was having to save fuel, and they took the lead right from the beginning. IVRL, OMA, ENEA. I mean, like you just mentioned, ENEA, they were trying every which way but loose to block NNR's runs anytime they had it, just weren't able to hold them off. Thursday Night Thunder, like you said, that was an upset. I'm looking for some kind of strategy, some kind of redemption. Unlike the races and the teams of past over these last 3 rounds, there aren't 10 cars per team. There's only 5 cars per team, so 25 drivers going to be out here. The points are going to be worth more than ever if you can get more of your guys in the top spots whenever we get to those stage breaks. I think when you break in between stages 1 and 2 and then again in 2 and 3, I think people are going to be on the edge of their seats waiting for these points.
Absolutely, and I think stage points are going to be the big decider tonight, because if you think about it, 25 drivers, only 10 are going to get stage points. So if you can get stage points, you're already one leg up on all the other teams. So stage points are going to matter huge, and obviously getting your guys to be closer together up towards the front. It's going to be wild. And Michigan is, like I said, a track that we haven't seen before. It's a very fast track. It's super speedway-esque. That's why it's in this round going with the theme. It's technically, in a lot of people's consideration, the fastest track in NASCAR because of the not using restrictor plates or tapered spacers or whatever have you. We've seen speeds up over 215 here with draft or minimal draft. So it's crazy. It's going to be a wild race to watch. I cannot wait to see what these teams will do to get that last spot.
Well, I'm going to talking about a spot, I'm going to put you on the spot right quick. You know, and you talk to a lot of these teams, a lot of their drivers. I don't want to say often, but you know a lot more than they do. Looking at that roster or the spreadsheet that you sent me earlier over your last 4 years or so, who are you picking? Who's your favorite, or is there any kind of a sentimental favorite? We'll put it that way that you've got for tonight.
Well, I think, I've got two. You mentioned on paper, cold heart stats, favorite, and then a emotional who wants it more winner. So I'm going to start with, as far as points go, cold hard stats, I think SXRL's got to be your favorite. I mean, they absolutely dominated the entire their race and the entire rest of the field in the first round, even scoring more than Shake and Bake. And then they sat, back and watched everyone do the road courses. And with super speedways, it's tough to win just because there's a lot of factors. So on paper, on a track where the draft isn't going to be as important, it's going to be important, but a little bit more, mile and a half-esque where they dominated. And just looking at the roster, you got guys like Lucky Dog, Ward Burton, NCAR. I mean, on paper, they're the favorite. But as far as emotional winners, as far as guys that may just want it more, look no further. My underdog for tonight is TNT. I've raced with these guys quite a bit. They have a lot of heart. We've seen them, absolutely beat 2 teams getting into the third round. And they put up the closest fight to the opponent that they faced. There was only a 20-point or so margin. So, and they went against one of the better teams, NAOR. So, we are, I honestly believe that if there's going to be a shocker tonight, look no further than Thursday Night Thunder.
Well, it's gonna be close. I mean, I don't. I have to agree with you, and I was actually talking to HD about this earlier. As far as the guys that I think are the most stacked, I'd probably have to go with SXRL. I mean, Lucky Dog, he's phenomenal. He's your Season 2 Pro League champ. The man can hold a steadier wheel than I've seen a lot of people. NCAR Racing, an eSpark driver. Word Burton, an eSpark driver. Brodozer, Doc Hudson. They've got a whole team full of eSpark Pro League possible drivers over there. ENEA, I was glad to see them make it as far as they did. OMA, Thursday Night Thunder, kind of sentimental as I work with Rick James pretty often. He's their normal broadcaster on Thursday nights. I don't really know a whole lot about OMA, but IVRL. You're talking to like Worm Rider here. He probably knows every bit of IVRL upside down and inside out. And I think we should probably go through these rosters, talk about these teams just a little bit, let you head on over to qualifying. After that, we'll kick off, we'll get our national anthem going, unless you'd rather us do that now and then talk about the teams. And then,
let's do
we're
that.
about to kick this off.
Let's go down trackside for the pre-race ceremony, and we'll have qualifying following that.
All right, so you heard it there, ladies and gents. Please stand, remove your hats. Let's pay a little tribute. Your national anthem. All right, guys. Yeah, we're back. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Do whatever you got to do. But man, so HD, I'm glad you're back. I really am. I'm glad when I asked you earlier if you'd be willing to step into the booth. I know you've been away for a little bit, but I know you know a couple of these guys with SXRL. So why don't you go ahead and kick it off and tell us who we're going to be looking forward to watching tonight.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be calling another NASCAR heat race with you up here in the booth. It's been a little bit, man, but definitely had some good times calling races with you. And I just want to say, man, hats off to everybody in the community. I knew they were doing this like league battle bracket thing, but I had no clue that it was this big. I mean, they're talking about what, 500 people, 42 teams. I mean, that's just insane to see, and it's awesome to see as well. To see the NASCAR Heat community come together and put an event on like this. But yeah, when you sent me that list with names, I was like, Pete, who are these guys? I don't know any of these names. That's how long I've been out of the scene here on the NASCAR Heat game. But there was one name I noticed in particular, and that definitely was Lucky Dog. I've been racing with Lucky Dog probably only back to the first NASCAR Heat game, Heat Evolution. I've raced with him in the Season 1 Pro League. Hands down, definitely got to look out for Lucky Dog tonight here in Michigan.
Yeah, underneath him, you've got Encar, and then, of course, Word Burton, Brodozer, Doc Hudson. I kind of alluded to that whole roster a little bit ago, saying, all of them race in eSpark in one series or another, whether it's Truck Cup or Xfinity. So a very, very talented team. Definitely, probably, even though I think American Ethanol was a bit underrated, and it probably shouldn't have been as much of a shock as it was, especially at a place like Daytona or Talladega, where it's very much the equalizer. It's all about putting your chess pieces in the right position at the right time, and that's what happened. American Ethanol went on to beat SXRL, and then Worm Rider, like I mentioned before, IVRL inside and out. Tell us about their roster, please, sir.
Man, with our roster tonight, we took some of our most dependable hardest hitters. One, I mean, we've got our captain Randy running with the 12, and then we've got our golden boys always Tyler 4. Nick, he's going to be the sleeper. Nobody really expects much out of him, but he's the quiet one of. And then you've got Sniper and Casey Kane, both are powerhouse. So I mean, with IVRL, they've got the means, just if they've got the want. That's what it's going to boil down to. Do you want to go home, or do you want to go to round 4? But I mean, Pete, it's like I told you earlier, man. This roster is stacked.
Both of those rosters are stacked, and you just mentioned something right there that kind of triggered a little something in my head. These guys are all going to have 2 very, very tough races in a row. Not only do they have to get through the rosters of each of these 5 teams, but after tonight, the winner is actually going to face Shake and Bake. That's no easy that's no easy feat. The Shake and Bake roster is extremely deep, just like most of these. So if they're going to work their way back into the Fast Family League Showdown after tonight, they better not sleep on Shake and Bake because they'll get knocked right back out again. All these guys, as I've heard over the last several weeks, really just got to get their elbows up, get back in the game, get back into the track, get to practicing, find out what preset setup works best for them, and bring their best stuff to the track. Next, we've got ENEA. ENEA Comments, the leader of that group. I actually got to race with quite a few of those guys last night during the American Ethanol opener at Daytona. These guys are all very, very good, very fast. Like I mentioned before, a lot of them came from NNR prior, kind of broke away, did their own thing, and they've shown that they can compete as well. I mean, nobody makes it through to round 3 on a fluke, not with the road course round and what I called the cookie cutter round in the beginning. But yeah, ENEA Conman, Hound Dog, ENEA Hydra, ENEA Knockout, and of course Shotgun. Shotgun is the guy that ran through all the stages when we went through the road course round. So I think we're probably going to have to keep an eye on them as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what ENEA is able to put together. HD, you want to take Thursday Night Thunder?
Yeah, I'll take it, Pete. Here, man. We got the number 1 car of Jacket FND. I hope I'm pronouncing these guys' names right. Like I said earlier, Pete. All these are new names to me. They're all new people, so it's great to see. But number 1 car, you got Jacket. I'm assuming he's the team owner of that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Got his name highlighted in red, and below him in the 18 car, you got Mark the Fast Shark. Now, I don't know about you, Pete, but if I got a shark behind me and it's fast, I'm going to be a little scared. But you got him running out the 18 car. And then the 21, you got Davy Jones. 1932 is going to be Twisted Navy. And to round out that 5-person team is going to be Dirt to Daytona in the 77.
There you go. If Rick James was in here, he's actually out there in chat. Rick, definitely want to thank you for checking in. If you were in the Discord, buddy, right now, I'd ask you to would have asked you to tell us a little bit about Thursday Night Thunder. But man, we'll definitely catch up. Looking forward to calling the NNR Xfinity races with you this season. It's going to be a blast, buddy. And then Worm, what do you know about OMA?
Well, I know they put up a fight on their last few rounds, but They're here for unfortunate events, just like all other four teams are. But we've got number 2 in Fit Sky Driver 4424 as their captain tonight. Then we've got number 9 Expert Racing with a number 16 a Drew LMAO with 41 Thought Crane 926 and 43 who actually won some of the stages a Trip Tricks. So some of these guys they're wanting that win back. They want to finish where they started off from. So I'm it's gonna be awesome, Pete.
Yeah, it is, and I just got the invite from Slide Job, and I could tell by ENEA Shotgun Stream that they are getting ready. They're getting in here to qualify. I'm going to send out the invites right now so y'all can come on in, join in. We all know Michigan, very, very fast, 2-mile, bit of a bank track that, Slide Job, and I've got to agree with him. The speeds here are faster than any other track. Even though Daytona and Talladega are super speedways, high draft, high bank, you normally only see about 207 max under presets. These guys are going to hit a lot more than that. So let's go ahead and peel away this roster and this promo and get you guys here to witness qualifying. See just how committed these guys are to getting into the corner. See how much they're going to have to lift when it's all said and done. Find out who's got the pole and if any teams are able to do it together. Now, HD, you and I called one hell of an NNR Cup race right here, where we saw a 4-wide finish between CGMX Rose, Dohar, JCX 12, and More Smoke. That was about 17 or 18 cars. We've got 25 cars here on track tonight. I'm looking for a little bit of the same here, buddy.
Yeah, Michigan definitely creates some of the best racing out there, in my opinion. When it comes to side-by-side racing, there's just so many different choices you can do. But it all happens out of turn 2 and then out of turn 4. You want to be able to get a good run, get a good draft pull off the guy in front of you, and then you want to slide up under him down the straightaways, and that's where we will see most of the passing here tonight. But yeah, you're right, man. What a finish that was. I think there's a few choice words that slipped out of my mouth that I didn't even realize I said until the next day when someone pointed out in the stream. But yeah, Michigan, what a great track.
Man, I'm hoping to see a whole lot more of that. Michigan all about the draft, staying together, big packs. But if you lose the pack, if you lose the draft, more chances than not, you're not going to catch back up. With 2 stages tonight, normal race, they're only going to have those opportunities to get their car right. Worm, what do you think the chances are of these guys maybe starting off on a little bit higher of a preset, really risking getting loose off of 2 on the long run just to be able to remain, quick throughout the stage? Or do you think they err on the side of the caution, start out a little bit lower so they stay a little bit more neutral on these long runs?
Man, I'm gonna start out high. I mean, that way, you're trying to. You don't want to get too tight on this and be on the apron. You want to kind of run that high side so you can kind of get a push going around with it. So I'm going to start high and just slowly work my way down. Plus, you also get the fact where you can, maybe get a jump on everybody, or maybe somebody's already got something figured out that fitted ahead of you. So, I mean, I'm going with the high preset and working my way down.
I tell you, Michigan and Auto Club, I might have to be on the opposite side of that spectrum, but Michigan and Auto Club are too risky for me to start high, because after about 7 to 10 laps of you sliding that right rear coming off the corner, heading back down the straightaway, all of a sudden that nose is pointing in the wrong direction. You're facing the inside wall while the guys behind you are still digging. You're either collecting the field, or all of a sudden you've got 12 seconds worth of damage that you did not want because you got wicked loose. So we'll have to see which one works out the best. We're not going to know who's picking what but we're definitely going to see those guys on the wheels versus the guys that are on the controller that are still tabbing to the left, trying to come off the corners with the most amount of speed. And the guys that are having to jerk the wheel to the right, I actually just did that, jerk the wheel to the right, in order to keep it going. But we're about halfway through this pack. I've been sitting right here on Slide Job as he's been sending them out one by one. These guys, it's gonna be fast. I'm actually gonna try to catch up with the guy that's leaving. Let's see. I'll catch up with the guy that's gonna be leaving pit road next. There we
And
go.
hit on that. I'm with Worm, Pete, man. I'm with Worm. I'd rather have a looser car. Me, it's all driver preference, but me personally, I'd rather drive off the right rear than burning up that right front. I think it suits me better, so I'm gonna have to be with Worm with that on as well.
All right. Well, I mean, we're not going to know what these guys are picking, but HD, man, I whatever you say, I trust you. I've seen you out here against the best, both in preset and in setups. You absolutely know what you're doing. I will take that with more than a grain of salt. And man, as you know, it doesn't take much to flip my decision when it comes to your suggestions. So,
I've done it once or twice. I'm a little rusty now, I'm sure, but yeah, it's just
A little politician there.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like one of those. What do they call him? Political action committee. He just changed my mind. But yeah, watching the 34 of Sniper 90. Don't recall seeing him on one of those rosters. I could be wrong. Went through him bit by bit, but out here in this Love's Ford Mustang, really coming off the corner pretty high, letting it drift up towards the wall in order to flatten the curve just a little bit, all the way down to the apron, across the line, and it looks like that's going to complete his lap, and the rest of the guys are pretty much done, it looks like. So in just a moment, Slide Job will come on out, and he'll run a couple laps as you see Hydra completing his lap. Here's Nick Goebel, that 14 Brandt machine you were talking about before, Worm.
Yeah, most definitely. The IVRL, man, I can't vouch for the other four. I know these guys, they've been in it all week, and I've been watching. I've actually ran some with them for being in the way, giving them a little opposition. But, I mean, Nick's going to be the one that I'm going to watch out of the IVR stable to, make a statement tonight.
No doubt. Looks like everybody is out there. Mr. Slide Job now looking like he's a little loose, a little bit of a wiggle wagon going into turns 3 and 4. Caught that bottom apron just a little bit. Going to keep it low, off it through all the way down this front stretch, staying just on that white line where you can definitely imagine most of the teams will be below that to carry the most speed. They'll wash up towards that outside wall, get a great entry into 1 and 2. Hit that apex just right, get back in the throttle much earlier than he just did, and carry as much speed as you can down the backstretch. We're going to see a long train on both the inside and the outside lines here, HD. Coming into 3 and 4, some people were questioning when they're going to be able to, or if they're going to be able to use the apron under the actual racing surface to try to get those cars to turn. But HD, we've both seen a lot of cars lose it down there and actually take out quite a few people out there on the track.
Yeah, from when I used to race, you did not want to get anywhere near that white line or that yellow line down in turns 1 and 2. You touch that bad boy, you're spinning without a doubt. But yeah, Mr. Slide Job out here looking like he's putting down a pretty decent time, if I must say.
Oh yeah, Slide Job. He is one guy. He was actually supposed to be racing in Shake and Bake tonight, and Shake and Bake is over at Michigan, and he's like, man, I gave up racing with Shake and Bake to racing at Michigan to come here and race at Michigan. I said, well, at least here you got a chance to finish up front. He didn't like that very
much. No, I did not, Pete.
And there he is. But so Slide Job, we're watching you run a couple laps here. You wanna talk us through them, and how much time we got left on the clock, sir?
Yeah, we have a little bit of time here, just waiting for the qualifying session to run its course. But yeah, this is Mr. Slide Job in the Fast Family race car today. We're gonna take you a little bit of a ride around Michigan. Pete really gave you a little prelude there. But here we are coming out of turn 3 and 4. It's pretty wide here. You're going to see 2 and 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide, but you're going to see a lot of people get below this white line to try to block and stop people from getting underneath them. But you want to get a good high arc in that corner there, dive it in. You're going to see people right on the yellow line in the corner. Don't really want to touch the apron too much. It is dangerous. People will use it. This is where a lot of passes are going to be made coming down the back stretch. Get the most speed, run the wall, get that arc in, but you're going to see people all the way across the track barely cracking the throttle as you enter the turn. Here we are down back on the white line and back to the stripe down on the bottom. Now, a lot of people will tell you the top side does not work and you lose a lot of speed, but I'm going to show you a little bit of a different line. Say you're too wide with somebody, you can run this middle line and carry some decent speed. The top is going to slow you down, but that middle line can be run. And you'll see, you saw my car get a little loose there. One big issue a lot of people have is late in the run, you're going to see some cars that are going to get loose off of turn 2 and turn 4, so watch out for that. But as you see, you can carry some decent speed here, and if you got people underneath you, you can run the wall on the front stretch here, same as the back stretch. But yeah, it's the main characteristic of this track is just how wide it is. So you're gonna see some crazy 2, 3, maybe even a 4 wide pass on these long front and back stretch. So watch out for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. HD Motorsports, Worm Rider and I were actually just talking about that. The difference between picking a high preset and having that initial raw speed. Maybe thinking that a caution might come out pretty quick, to where everybody will get a chance to go down pit road, fix up whatever they've got to get, and come on back out with at least some kind of adjustments, which is something that you've actually got to practice for. Because when you get that that quick go. 15 seconds on pit road to make adjustments, you don't always get your full adjustments in. Or you start down a little bit lower on the preset scale, something a little bit tighter, maybe something a little bit more neutral that will be in it more for the long run. So we'll definitely have to see who's going to be in it, who's there just full bore getting after it early, but may not have the long run speed, or the guys that will be a little bit slower at the beginning, but will have a little bit more as the length, the green flag continues to stay out.
Absolutely. And for those of you at home that are not as familiar with Michigan International Speedway, the lap times you're looking at around this track, a qualifying lap is probably going to be anywhere from a 39 flat, maybe a 38.9 if you're really huffing it. You're going to see times definitely south of that in the draft. You may see 38.7s down to 38.5s, maybe even 4s on the presets, but that's a lot with heavy draft. But as far as fall off goes, and later in the run, you may see all the way up to over 40 seconds to get around this 2-mile racetrack. So it's going to be interesting to see who can save tires, who can manipulate the draft. Definitely not the quote unquote easy Talladega racing that we've seen in the last couple of races.
Now, how much steering to the right are you having to do coming off of 2? We see you kind of getting a bit loose, as you pointed out a moment ago. But how much are you actually having to fight that wheel?
Now, when you're putting in a race setup, you definitely want to, as you said, use a tighter setup and then loosen it up with either wedge or right side tires. So, when you have a comfortable car, you're not wanting to turn it right until you get to really late in the run. You're definitely, those last 5 laps are going to be a little tricky, so you're going to be putting some wheel into it. But as far as qualifying goes, that's the kind of setup I have in right now. Just trying to run some fast laps. So yeah, I'm dirt tracking a little bit coming off the corners, but you're definitely going to see those that maybe gamble and go with the loose setups on a long run. They're going to be fighting it pretty hard.
Gotcha. Well, man, so we got 25 cars out here. we are, qualifying is done. Really curious to see, who's going to be sitting where. It definitely seemed like they were spaced out enough to where nobody was really able to get any kind of a draft off anybody. Um, how close are we to revealing who's going to be on that front row?
We are about 1 minute away.
All right, so a minute away. HD Worm, we are 1 minute away from backing back out of this, waiting for one more invite. When we come on in, we are going to be setting these guys free. Slide number, are they taking a pace lap or just going straight green?
We're going straight green. We're doing stages tonight, so the drivers will be going green right from the start on all 3 stages. Qualifying will set the field, so yeah, wherever they start, we're gonna see them roll off all 25. So.
All right, well, we'll be keeping up with ENEA's Shotgun Stream, kind of keep us in tune with laps and fuel and all that. See, depending on which menu he's got up, exactly how abrasive the track is treating his Credit 142 Chevrolet. But man, thank you very much for coming out and talking to us. Hopefully, none of those guys have gone backwards too much to where they lose their starting spot and are back in the lobby. Seeing a little bit of movement on track. Good luck. We'll talk to you again here in the booth in just a little while, sir.
Absolutely. Expect an invite from me quite soon.
Something I want to hit on, Pete, real quick is something that wasn't really talked about a whole lot is the team strategy. You go to places like Talladega, Daytona. You mentioned earlier a team actually won off of this. There's a lot of team strategy I think that's being played here tonight at Michigan. It may not plan out like Daytona and Talladega, but if you can get your 5 cars lined up on the bottom, and I think someone can control the race that way, and whoever does that successfully, I think is to come out with the win tonight.
Yeah, 5 teams to fight through. 5. It's going to be, they say at Talladega and Daytona, everybody's got a plan until they get there. Until the race goes green. We'll have to see. It's going to be, it's definitely going to be tough. Everybody's now pulling out on track. Going to go ahead and complete their time, and we'll find out exactly who our pole sitter will be, and who knows, HD, there might be a whole team depending on what they were able to share as far as wheel settings, game settings, presets selections, what they were able to share in order to get the job done. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Lucky Dog might have that pole, so I'm going to pick your driver, HD. If me taking Lucky Dog is taking that from him, who do you have?
For the pole position?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have Lucky Dog is what I'm cheating, just let you know. Lucky Dog has got the pole position with Ward Burton on the outside, so we're already seeing it early on. I think with them two lining up 1-2, Lucky Dog's gonna get that good launch off. Ward Burton, I would expect, is going to pull up right behind him and more than likely stay on Lucky Dog's tail, protect him throughout this whole first stage, like you guys have been saying all night long. Stage points are key. Stage points is what's going to make a team or is going to break a team, and I expect Ward Burton basically to ride behind Lucky Dog and push him all he can to protect him.
All right. HD, can you back out of there, please, so they can get that set? Same thing, Worm, if you haven't already. And Worm, I know you're a big fan of Randy Hinshaw with IVRL. Would you bet on your IVRL captain, or are you gonna kind of go astray a little bit, buddy?
I may catch repercussions for this one. I'm going to stray a little bit away on this, and after the performance I saw Shotgun put on, that's who I'm going to be watching some, is Shotgun, because he put on a heck of a performance the last couple rounds. So just see if he can get the momentum going and make it interesting.
Yeah, Shotgun absolutely has. He came in, I think it was second in overall points in the spreadsheet that Slide Job put up, just behind NNR Asbel, who ran for just about every single stage that he ran. In round 1 and round 2, he ran the cycle, all 3 stages. He only missed this last stage by 1. Asbel has run what eight stages in the last 3 rounds. The man is fast. Shotgun was right there with him. So to keep up or to be associated with someone like Asbel, that absolutely says a lot for Shotgun, and I think he's absolutely going to be very, very strong tonight. Man, that's a hell of a pick. Absolutely.
Yeah, you talk a lot about how Shotgun and Asbel, they, ran the circuit on all three. One we hadn't talked much of that kind of snuck in there too was the Tyler Brown on the road courses down in Sonoma. So, he may be one to also watch as far as, waiting for the last minute to make a move. And if he does, he better take his team with him because it ain't about yourself in this. You've got 4 other people that you got to get up there and get those points because everybody's wanting max points on it.
Yeah, you want max points, but it's a little bit different trying to pull your team through the field at a place like Talladega, even though the draft is very, very needed. It's very, very hard to pull your team through a field at Michigan versus a true super speedway track. So if they can do it and they've shared and practiced that much with their setups, man, if they came that prepared, I wish them all the best because it's that would be quite a feat to accomplish, and not only through one stage, but to get it done, if they can, through 3 full stages. That would be one hell of an accomplishment. All right, just got the race invite. It looks like on Shotgun Stream. Yep, they are entering right now, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that invite, and I'll get it out to you guys as well. Stand by out there in chat.
It's all clean to go. Join the lobby.
Clean to go. All right. Let's see. HD, here you go. And then the one and only Worm Rider. Worm, we have been waiting forever to call a race together, buddy. It's finally great to have you up in the booth, man.
I hang out with a lot of watching the NNR and cut up with you a lot, and I always tell you, man, we're gonna get our chance. I hate I'm here on these circumstances, but I'm glad I'm here because, between you and Rick James and Atlanta, y'all kind of guided me in the right way, helping a lot. So, especially with HD here being, your predecessor, I feel like I'm around royalty right now. So.
Well, I don't know if I'd call him royalty. He might not like that much.
I'm nothing close to royalty.
And I just realized on here I have all these team icons on the wrong side. Nobody's going to be able to see who is where, so I'm going to move these. And while I do, if y'all don't mind calling them green, HD, you haven't done it in a while. Let's take it. 13 up front. There's your lucky dog.
Yeah, Lucky Dog taking the green flag here at Michigan International Speedway as they fall down into turn 1. There's that 37 car, if I'm not mistaken, of Ward Burton right behind him with the 48 right on his tail into turn 2.
Yeah, he's already starting to pull away a little bit, but that pack is forming, and it looks like a majority of them is going to be up on that high side. So we'll just see if they can run that high line, if they can get formed on it. HD, they looking kind of scattery right now, but everybody may be trying to find their teammates where everybody is and pair up.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit of chaos. There's actually the 11 car maybe up into the wall, down the front stretch, flipping down into turn 1. First caution of the night is out. Here we go, boys.
Absolutely, and I tell you, the way that they call the cautions here,
maybe not. No caution.
No, they actually race back to the caution, so we'll find out here in just a minute whether Lucky Dog's going to go ahead and have to back this Geico 13 Camaro down, or if it is a true caution. There's a couple different ways that they're calling the cautions, so we'll have to see. But so far, I don't see where. Yep, that gecko. It looks like his tongue is back in his mouth. He's slowing on down.
Speaking of that gecko right there, look at 1, 2, 3. That's actually going to be 3 drivers from SXRL running in the top 3 positions. Now, right behind this guy is going to be actually no top 4. Actually, are going to be no top 5.
Top
Excuse
5,
me.
yeah, all the way back
Top
to the top
5.
4.
All XRL, and if they stay this way through stage number 1, Pete, that is going to be a huge deficit for everybody to have to be able to make up through the second stage and to finish it all out.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting to see if those guys that were involved in any kind of an issue in the back decide to come on down pit road, fix it up, or what they're going to do. Pit road, I believe, is probably going to be closed this time. They'll open it up next time. We'll see here. Still waiting. I don't see any movement. Either it's open. Nope. Okay. No. Yeah. It's open. Just seeing some people play a little bit of am I gonna go? Am I not? Am I gonna go? They're just playing a couple games with the cars in the back. But as you said, SXRL top 5 spots.
And I think you have to go. It looks like a couple people actually ended up staying out. I think you go down now. You get 4 fresh tires, but also it's very key to get the rest of your setup into these cars. But yeah, SXRL definitely sitting pretty early on. I think most of them came down pit road to do exactly that. Looking towards the back of the pack, it actually looks like the 18 of Mark. I said Fast Shark. He's actually Fat Shark. I like Fast Shark a little bit better, because I might be scared of a Fat Shark too, because that means he's eating well. But looked like he was involved in that wreck a little bit himself. His car is all torn up as he's sitting down there getting his damage fixed.
Well, buddy, you are. I met you. I met you at Levine Family Days in Charlotte. Kept up with you throughout your season 1 pro league career for that team, and you're kind of all gristle and bone. I don't think any shark's really going to want to gnaw on you anyway, unless they need a toothpick. But Worm, Tyler Brown, and the 14 of Nick, they decided to stay out. They're right behind this Petty Blue 43 right now. Is there going to be any advantage to this, or are they going to be, as HD loves to say, wounded gazelles sitting up here in the front?
I don't don't think they're going to be too wounded. The tires really ain't started now. Towards the end of the stage, it might play a factor, but the other 4 or the other 3 from IBRL pitted getting those in. So they may just be staying out there trying to hope they can catch another caution and get all the settings, sent around to each other. So hopefully they'll stay out there and won't be injured and took down.
Well, definitely have to see. HD, everybody is behind this 43 Petty Blue. Looks like a Chevy Camaro driven by. I'm trying to get up there right now. Let's see. Nope, there we go. It's going to be Captain, one of the eSpark drivers, an NNR driver, decided he'd come on out and pace this field tonight. Captain, thank you very much for your service and your time. Doing a whale of a job if you're watching, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I remember that one time I paced NNR. And let me tell you, dude, it was not pretty. I was all over the place first time doing that on a controller since, God, like the beginning of Heat 2. And, whoo, that was not a good sight to see. But, yeah, definitely an interesting strategy call for the first 2 cars up front. They definitely gained a lot of track position. Like you said, I do like calling them wounded gazelles, but I'm with Worm. I don't think the tires are really set in too much just yet. Yeah, if we get going green, about 5 laps to go, I think it might play a factor, but it might be a good call by these guys as the pace car is off.
Yeah, pace car's pulling off. Worm, you want to take us back green? You got your IBRL guy up top. Use your guy to watch. Here we go.
They're taking it into one, and they're really fixing to find out what they're made of. I mean, you've got Lucky Dog behind them, and he is not going to be waiting. He is going to be pouncing real quick. And, watching him through the E-League, he's something to watch. And if you can outrun that one and run with that one, you have bragging rights for yourself on being a good driver.
Yeah, you absolutely do. It looks like the 14 wasn't able to hold him off very long. For the 13 of Lucky got a big old shove from the 48 of Doc Hudson, another SXRL driver, all the way to the front. Looks like Lucky Dog's going to go ahead and complete that lap. So far, that 13 has been at the front of the field. HD, they are 2 and 3 wide. A few rows deep behind him. They are very fanned out through 1 and 2.
Yeah, there were 3 wide there through turns 1 and 2, and a little bit of contact there between the 37 of Ward Burton and the 41 of Throck Crane as they come out of turn 2 down the backstretch. All done. They're still side by side going through turns 3 and 4. Top 3 positions, though, still go to SXRL.
Yeah, SXRL has those top 3 going back to the, I think that's going to be the 32. But Worm, your pick to possibly lead the charge for ENEA, this 42 Credit 1 Camaro of ENEA Shotgun. He's actually right here sitting in about P6, just behind this 37 Cottonelle machine. A little bit of a challenge, though. Everybody's lined up along the wall right behind him, rather.
Yeah, right now, if you get stuck to the inside by yourself, you're not hung out to dry too bad, especially going into 3 and 4. If you make it consistent, they're going to form up on the high side of you, and they're going to slowly start working you towards the back. But he's getting in on a draft, falling in, so I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue with him running with them up front tonight.
Well, if he's got any help here, HD, he's got the 22 Pennzoil Ford kind of right there with him, and now it looks like he's actually hung to the inside. Excuse me, hung to the inside. And it looks like the 24 is going to be able to pass on by on that outside. Behind them, though, you've got a hornet's nest. It seems like about the first 6 or 7 cars are all single file broken away. Behind them, a lot of contact in this little bit of a pack. Not even a little pack. It's huge.
It's definitely a huge pack as someone got force pitted there coming out of turn 4. Couldn't quite get a number on that, but you're right there. 4 wide right here in the middle of turns 1 and 2 with the 14 stuck in the middle. A little bit of more door contact coming out of turn 2 with the 18. Oh, the 6 car getting a little bit loose. Contact with the 9. He's around the wrecking towards the back.
Yeah, I was watching, looking backwards from ENEA Knockout in that 17 machine. If that will be a caution, again, they'll bring it to the line, and we'll see if that caution flag flies yet again, or if it just wasn't enough. Not quite sure, but I definitely saw at least one guy get forced down to the inside, and they're wrecking up here in the front too. 24's around, 42's around, and additional. There's calamity everywhere.
I think that was a situation where the caution came out, and I don't think everybody was on the same page. People got ran over. But I'll tell you, I was on the hood of the number 18 car. That's going to be the 18. What was the 18? The 18 of Mark the Fat Shark Man. And, woo, he kind of picked his way through there. Didn't pick up any more damage. But, yeah, I think that's one of those situations where everybody wasn't quite on the same page.
Yeah, I remember when Rowdy ran this 18 car last season. You thought that he had a whole bunch of damage already because of the way the DLC showed on the car. It was like one of the race-winning ones, kind of Martin Truex Jr. had last year. I bet you right now that Mark the Fat Shark is wishing that all the damage on his hood of this Snickers Camry was all as it's meant to be, but he has a ton of damage. Definitely no way that thing is keeping up in the air right now.
He was working his way through there pretty good. I was watching him in that middle of the pack as we got lucky. That looks like the 37 of Ward Burton. We got a little bit more. Actually, a slew of cars ended up staying out during this caution. A couple of takers. That's definitely a big track position loss for that number 13 car of Lucky Dog. He's lost about 20 spots in this one stop, but he's going to get those 4 Mr. Good Feel Goods.
Yeah, Worm. I keep wanting to say word. I don't know why. Worm. Yeah. So the 4, he held on pretty well, but now I would imagine that he's probably going to want to come on down where everybody else stayed out, and this time he'll have the advantage. So we'll have to see if this works out for him or not. Next time the 42 of Shotgun comes on by the start stripe, I'll go ahead and grab us a lap count. That would be some interesting information to have since we've had these 2 pretty quick cautions. But man, there is a lot of racing out here, and we can't forget, this is the biggest field that this Showdown has seen yet. 5 teams, 5 people per team. most points accumulated by the end of the race is the one that's going to go on to round 4 and face Shake and Bake Racing. So as I mentioned, they don't have any small feat in these next 2 races.
No, most definitely. This is kind of like the game 6 of 7 rounds when you're 3-3. You know, you get through this when you survive, but you've got another hard matchup right next round. You ain't going to get much of a break. So, I mean, they're fighting for positions, and I hope I'm not seeing it right. I'm looking at Henshaw's screen. It possibly looks like he may have lagged out. So I'm not. That's not really the way you want to start out in part of stage 1, being down one team. So, or one player off of a team. But yeah, he looks like he lagged out.
Yeah.
So IVRL down 1 already.
Yeah, I'm sitting on that 12 car for Randy Hinshaw right now, and he is not moving. No tires, no fuel. That car is not rocking whatsoever. So very, very unfortunate for IVRL to lose not only a teammate member, but one of their best, to say the least. I've absolutely followed his stream and kept up with him a few times. Kept up with him in chat and all that. So Randy, if you're out here watching, man, sorry you lagged out, buddy. All right, so HD, I'm back up here now with the 43 pace car. He is all by himself. The captain right now is sailing solo, waiting for the rest of his vessels to pull up behind him, line back up. There's no way that they're all going to be back up here and ready to go this time round. It seems like everybody took the option to go down pit road that time, top off, just like we saw during the entire Super Speedway round. So next time by, we'll be back green, and it looks like behind this 43, it's going to be that 37 and the 22, 43, 32, and the 17 of Conman sitting there in P5. So we'll have to see how fast these control cars are going to be able to get up to speed.
Yeah, I think it's a little unlucky break there for a couple cars, because I think they may have went down pit road when it actually wasn't open. So I think a couple cars got shuffled to the back, so that's going to be interesting to watch. There's cars who were running up front just a couple laps ago now find themselves in a not so good position, running back here. It's Michigan. It's kind of hard to make your way through the field, especially when everybody's on those new tires. But yeah, 37, Ward Burton, he's going to lead the charge here as they come out of turn 2 down a backstretch. You're ready to go back green.
Yeah, getting ready to go back. They've got about a full mile to think about what they're going to do, where they're going to try to get set into the corner. You talk about a guy that pit too early, and I think that's actually going to be, or one of the guys that's going to be forced to the back. That was the 13, a Lucky Dog. If there's anybody to keep an eye on to try to work his way back through the field, that man, Lucky, he's got that brand new Fanatec equipment that the Pro League drivers got this last season. He won the championship in all that. Man can hold a steady wheel. Let's see how steady he can stay. See how steady he can keep his nerves while he's trying to work his way through 24 other cars.
As the pace car is off the track, it's Ward Burton's control. They're at the Geico restart zone and light them up. Ward Burton with a good launch off the go with the 43 right behind him as well. That's going to be Triple Tricks. He got a good launch. The inside line really moved. The outside line got stacked up. They just could not get going.
37, 43, 17 of Conman, and then the 3 right behind him. 4 cars nose to tail. Behind them, everybody else trying to get nose to tail. This is what they'd want to see at Daytona or Talladega. Michigan, very notorious for 2, 3, and sometimes 4 wide racing. Worm, there's a huge pack, and they are starting to catch up.
Yeah, if everybody sticks together, I mean, they're gonna catch up with it. This is a miniature super speedway. It ain't no Talladega or Daytona where everybody can draft, and they're getting a little wobbly in the back. But I mean, if they can group up, I'd love to see one fine line, speeds 2.5 and plus on presets. So I mean, it's going to be interesting, Pete, just to see how well they, who tags up with who, because right now you ain't You ain't sticking with your team. You're just trying to get up front, and you'll use anybody to you in front of you to get up there on that lead.
Yeah, you absolutely will. I'm driving along right now, or riding along, I should say, with the 38 of Brodozer right behind him. A little bit of contact, and they're wrecking across the start stripe. Big pile up this time. No doubt, caution will be out. They're going to race back to the line. 38 has a ton of damage. 4-car, also one of your recent leaders. He's all tore up as well. H2 getting ready to slow him back down one more time.
Yeah, I was riding along with Lucky Dog watching him work his way through the field, and what an evasive maneuver by him, just cutting straight down through the grass here. Was able to miss it, as well was the 9-car able to miss that. That's going to be X. Per Tracing was able to miss that as well. So a good piece of driving by those two guys. They're at the start-finish line. And like you said, third caution of the night is out. And that 43 Petty Blue car is going to be out there pacing the field yet again here at Michigan.
Yeah, one more time. That caution is out. I know I said I'd grab us a lap count when I could just a moment ago, but yep, then calamity happened coming across the start stripe. All the fans are absolutely on the stands. Love to hear them cheer as the cars come on by. A little bit of post caution activity here. I'm guessing the 18 didn't like something that the 14 did, because he came up and gave him a little bit of a nudge to the bumper, saying, "Hey man, yo, next time out." But Worm, I got it right that time. By now, with these couple of few cautions we've had, people should be they should have their cars pretty much dialed in by now. They should have their air pressures where they want. If they felt they needed to make any changes on a tape or wedge, they should be pretty straight by their third trip down pit road.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you had the first one to get settled in, the second one to get it tuned in, the third one you should be on point for the rest of the race. But I think it's running pretty neck and neck on how many green laps to how many cautions laps we've ran. So, I mean, I hope this don't turn into a public lobby looking like, but I mean, you've got a lot of aggression. Everybody's trying to fight for that spot. Nobody wants to go home. So I think you're going to see a little bit of aggression, bumping, nudging, and, get out of my way. I want some points. I ain't leaving just yet.
No, you're 100% right. Nobody wants to go home. Again, this field is also 5 cars larger. You put them all on a track where every bit of position matters. Because once you get strung out, it's very, very easy to lose a whole lot of time. If you lose that draft, you're going to lose positions. Your only saving grace is trying to do your best. Hopefully you got a car that is capable of being able to compete among all the best that are in here. And man, so far, what is that? Three cautions, all within the first stage. And when back around, we'll be setting them free with about either 10 or 11 laps remaining. HD, we're grouping them up, stacking them up, racking them up one more time in the Irish Hills. Getting ready to go, sir.
Yeah, they're going to take the green flag next time around, but a little bit of strategy call here from the 9-car of Expert Racing and the 24 of In-Car Racing. I think they ended up only taking 2 tires during that pit cycle. They were towards the back. They now find themselves on the front row. I think that's a excellent strategy call by them, especially with the way the race has gone early on. 3 early cautions. Best way to get track position in this situation is to gamble a little bit. So I like this gamble by these 2 front cars right now.
Yeah, I think the 9-car is actually one of those that were involved in the last wreck when we saw it all happen down the backstretch. This one, of course, happened on the front stretch, right at the start stripe. So 9, like you said, doesn't want to be in the back. He wants to clean air. He doesn't want to have to fight his way through car after car after car. Now the only person he's got to worry about is that 43 getting out of his way. He's going to have the perfect line heading into turn 1. Worm, we're getting closer and closer to the end of stage 1. About 10 laps to go. We're going to get that points update from Slide Job after that point. Going through over the first, top 5, top 10. I haven't seen anybody really settle in. Yeah, we saw SXRL at the beginning take the lead, but since then, there have been a few different people up front.
Yeah, XR and oh, they kind of jumped out quick and they fixed to go again. But I mean, you still got a lot of racing left, and they're grouping up right now on that last restart. Hopefully, this is a whole lot better, and it looks like it is. And they're filing in, taking that low line, and they're gone.
Absolutely. The 9 car of Expert Racing is going to lead the 24 into turn 1. So that outside line for the 24 didn't mean a thing. He's actually going to go ahead and pull right on up to that 9's tailpipe and just give him a shove all the way down the back.
There again.
Now they're
In the
3
back.
wide behind the leader.
Yeah, they got another wreck towards the back of the pack. It'd be interesting to see if there's a caution out. But yeah, that 9 car of Expert Racing still out in front. Is there 3x3 right behind them, going 4, 5 wide, possibly down the front stretch, and there's another big wreck before the line. It's gonna collect him. Oh my God! Freaking Lucky Dog just did a kickflip there through the infield. I hope he's okay. But woo! Oh lordy.
Yeah, now we'll have to wait for this, wait for the 43, wait for old Cap. There he is. He was able to get out. These guys trying to get woed up without absolutely brake checking the entire field. So the 9, I believe he still had the lead, although there was a little bit of a challenge by the 37 down low. I think 37 is going to retain the lead after this caution, although it looks like 37 is pulling up right behind the 43. Maybe a little bit of a dispute between a couple of drivers. But, yes, one more caution, which means one more trip down pit road. Get these cars straightened out by now. Frydog and Sly Job and any other admins for the race, you got to be telling these guys, get settled down, get single file, get to racing. Show what your car is capable of on the long run, and then get after it. If you catch the guy in front of you, you'll work your way around him that way. Because pack wrecks, they're no good for anybody. All they do is tear up a whole lot of good cars. It means you're spending a whole lot of extra time on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you think of the dominant racers here. That's what they're good at. They're good at not necessarily forcing the issue too early. They know they got a better car, but they know when to use that to their advantage. I think right now we're seeing a lot of aggression out there. Obviously, a lot of people, fighting for these stage points. Stage points being so very important here early on. And like I said, man, earlier, that's basically who's going to decide. I think who's going to win this event here tonight is who collects the most stage points.
Yep, absolutely. Which team collects the most stage points is going to move on, and again, they're going to race Shake and Bake in the next round. And then don't forget, guys, there's also a fan vote that's going on. Whichever team you saw get knocked out and does not advance after tonight, that team's actually going to go ahead and race eSpark. So 2 very, very tough races. You got a fan vote to push them up against one of the top teams out there, right along Shake and Bake. Really gonna be curious to see who gets that. I know Fast Family, they've been all over social media saying, hey, please vote for us. We want to show that when we got taken out a little early by some server issues, we still had some more life in us to go. So Fast Family wants to get back in there, race up against eSpark, show that they're competitive, and try to get back in this thing. But Worm, 43's got the entire field behind him, 37, 43 side by side on the front row in the middle of 1 and 2. Guys all the way throughout this pack, they want to go green. They don't want any more time on pit road until it's a stage break. I want to see a lot of green flag racing. What do you see happening here, sir? Look into that wormy crystal ball you got. And, man, what do we got going on here, buddy?
I'm going to predict from past experience, we're running more caution laps than we are green lap. And that's not, I mean, you've got a lot of aggression. You've got a lot of everybody fighting for a spot. You want to see racing. I want to see a full stage, 50 laps. of green flag hard racing. I don't want to see everybody pitting every 2 or 3 laps, but the way they're driving tonight, well, I'm going to say we've got another 3 or 4 laps before we'll see another caution again, which I hope that ain't the case, and I hope my ball's wrong, but, it's not looking to favoritism in any other way.
Something I just thought about while you were talking, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment, or if another caution comes out. But right now, back to green, 37, 43. 43 is going to easily pull in behind that 37 and stay single file. Big old shove by the 22. Nope, not J-Pop. Almost said it, though. By the 22 of... not J-Pop. So top 3 kind of pulling away, 48 pretty close in tow.
There it
but
goes.
Behind
there it is
that,
in the back.
Yep. Just caught up with the 34 of Sniper as he's doing 360 after 360 along with the 41. So very unfortunate. And yeah, going to race it back to the green. But what I was going to say before that happened, HD, is during these races there are penalty points that are assessed after the fact. All these guys that are having issues, maybe they're getting jammed up or ran over or heavily door checked or whatever the case may be, if they clip that, they send it to Ford Tough or they send it to the slide job, there are penalties assessed for aggressive driving. So we're seeing this now. If these guys don't straighten it up, we may see a big shakeup after the race is done, depending on how points fall. And speaking of J-Pa, there he is popping in the chat saying these guys need to get good. J-Pa, I've got to agree with you, sir. I hope that NNR practice race is running well for you, buddy.
There was actually no caution during that last big wreck. They stayed green, and they're still up here racing. And actually, the first 3 cars were able to break away from the rest of the pack just a little bit. About like 25 car lengths to that big pack behind them. But if these guys can work together, I know they're probably all on different teams, but you want to work together, try and create that distance as you can. It looks like they're going 34 wide back there out of turn 4 down the front stretch.
Yeah, right along, right at 13, a Lucky Dog able to really get a very strong run off the turns 3 and 4 between the exit of 4 and the start stripe. He must have passed about 3 people. So Lucky Dog starting to use that equipment, use that racing knowledge that this young man from New Jersey's got, working his way up on through. He's now gotten past that pack of about 8 cars right behind him, looking at some Snickers right now in his immediate view, wondering how he's going to get past this 18. Looks like 18 is trying to block every little bit of effort that the 13's giving him. Yeah, there he is now. Ran the 13 down into the grass. So 13, good hands, way to get back up on track, not lose control. HD, our pick to not only take the pole, but maybe even win the race for SXRL and try to gain pole points. Yeah, he's getting there. Go ahead, Worm.
6 just got loose all over the backstretch, so he collected about 3 or 4 on that one.
Yeah, the 18 just Mr. Shark here just took out the 42 and almost got a Lucky Dog yet again, man. This Shark is hungry tonight. He's definitely eating good as we got another car coming out of the grass just sliding up on the track and able to miss that. And oh boy, that was an interesting couple laps there.
Yeah, it was. Tell you what, great bit of driving. Even though we're talking about the 18, about a couple of aggressive blocks, possibly. That was some pretty good heads up to work his way around the 43 when it came out straight on track rather than running the apron until everybody was passing. But now the 43's got to get ahead of these guys, not behind them, and collect them all back up again.
You hate to see it for ENEA Shotgun. I'm pretty sure that's what brought out that caution, man. Going out into turn 3, the 18 just kind of dove it below the line and just sent them a packing up into the wall. But hey, look, everybody's got a clean car. Caution was actually a caution, and you're ready to take it back green. The 37 of Ward Burton still on the point, taking the green flags in the air here at Michigan, following double file down into turn 1.
Yeah, so you got Word Burton out front. Got the 22 of ENEA Conman, 43 and 17. 43 completely cut the nose from the 48. 48, a little bit of a wiggle though, able to save it. He's got the 17 straight to his outside. Behind these front two, they are side by side, about 3 rows deep here, Worm.
Yeah, it's going to stay pretty tight like this. I mean, Burton got a heck of a jump, but Conman was able to just sneak right in behind him. So, I mean, right there shows your teams ain't working together yet. It's everybody's fight for survival just to get a stage point. I mean, that's what's going to win it for you, is stage points.
Yeah, once Slide Job has those points, I'm sure he'll pop in and say, I think all three are going to be very, very surprised at how these points work out, because I don't have a clue, none whatsoever. Usually we can pick out a couple guys that are doing really, really well, irregardless of what stage or what round it's been. These guys out here tonight all over the place, few wrecks in each stage, although right now they're kind of behaving themselves. Hopefully I don't jinx that. Let's knock on something here. And hopefully we get to some long green flag runs. But right now through 1 and 2, they are pretty much nose to tail, HD.
Yeah, they're nose to tail and definitely getting a little bit better racing out here on the track with this front pack, as this 17 car on the outside of Doc Hudson going down the backstretch into turn 3. He's going to get hung up there. He's got the 22 helping. Look at that huge run he's able to create through the center of turns 3 and 4 down the front stretch, still nose to nose at the start-finish line.
Yeah, nose to nose, 48-17 behind them. 17 got a little loose, or something happened right there. Collected several cars going into turn 1. I was on board right there with the 3 of ENEA Hound Dog, able to guide his way through. So I think that was definitely more than enough for the 43 to pull on out, gather these guys back up. Gonna rack and stack them again. Hopefully stage 2 will not repeat stage 1. But man, that was a pretty good look to stage 2 so far. Let's see if they can build on that.
It was definitely enough, man. I think I saw someone up there at the hot dog stand getting a hot dog while he was whipping up there through the ear. You know, we heard of Uber Eats, man. I never heard of Flyer Eats or something like that. But yeah, that was definitely a big one there down into turn 1.
Well, don't you know the Jetsons took Edgar around for the 21st century? That's where we're at now. He just flew on over, grabbed the dog, and now fly on back. Oh man, slowed up one more time. We'll have to see what we get here. But Worm, it looks like your crystal ball was right. Quite a few more issues there. We'll have to see if we can get these guys spread out before the end of stage 2. Hopefully, when that stage 3 starts, we're all piled back up again, and the aggression is bound to ramp up. That we're not looking at what we're going to see all race long.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know who really's been leading the most laps so far, but Captain's actually putting in being up front the most so far. So hopefully that's going to change within the next few stages.
Well, not much time left. Captain out here all by his lonesome, rocking that NASCAR Heat Petty Blue 43 Camaro. Looks pretty good, if I say so myself. Good to see Captain out here. HD More Than a Cape chimed in the chat and said someone got their in-flight meal.
Yeah, they woo, yeah, that was definitely a big wreck, man. And that 43 car is cleanest car out on the track, man. Let's hopefully he can stay that way throughout this race. But yeah, just a lot of aggressive driving. We actually got a little bit more strategy, it looks like, here panning out as this, get a number on it, but I think someone ended up taking 2 tires during that stop. It is going to be the 92 of KC5 Kane out here. So playing a little bit of strategy, getting some track position, getting towards the front. 37 Warburton on the outside.
Yep, working my way back up to the guys right behind Cap, as he continues to guide them all the way around. Um, Again, it's sitting in that NASCAR Heat Pro League 43 Camaro ZL1. He's going to go ahead and take that on down pit road, I believe, or we might have to wait one more. I don't think we're fully stacked back up yet. Yep, one more time around. But yeah, Casey Kane and 37, Ward Burton. I think they're in probably the safest positions on track right now.
No, the pace car's in the safest position, man. No one's around them right now. But no, yeah, you definitely want to be towards the front of the pack. You know, the most of the rest we've been seeing have been towards the back of the pack. Now, whether or not those are the guys who were up front early on, who know they've got fast cars, who know they can win this thing, or trying to do everything they can to get to the front, you know, I've seen a lot of aggressive blocks here tonight early on. I mean, some of these blocks, man, like, holy smokes, like, woo, that was something to see. But, you know, hopefully these guys can get settled down a little bit. You know, everybody wants to see this thing go green. Everybody wants to see this thing pan out and see really who is the best racer out here on the track. And you know, hopefully we can get to that point.
Yeah, it would absolutely be nice. Still waiting on Slide Job to pop on into the booth with that points update. I'm sure it's taking just a little bit longer because he's got to sort the points through 5 different teams rather than just the normal 2 of 10 drivers apiece. So again, still the 32 Chevy to the inside of the 37 Cottonelle Camaro that you normally see old track bar driving. So right now, Ward Burton's got a little bit of mojo in that Cottonelle Camaro, hoping that maybe he can get it up front, keep it up front, and drive away. But right now, HD, we are going back green. Looks like the 37 might have laid off just a little bit to try to get right behind Casey. And it looks like he's going to be able to do that. 48's going to tuck right in, and we are side by side all the way back. This has been where they've had the most issues. Side by side, really no distance between the cars on the high or low side. Hopefully they can get some and really keep it green.
Yeah, the only problem is this 92 car is going to be in a world of hurt because you got a team of 3 up high. That's going to be the 37 of Ward Burton, Doc Hudson, and the 13 of Lucky Dog rolling the high side. 3 of them able to clear that 92 with ease at the start-finish line that time by. So SXRL looking good early on here in stage 2.
Yeah, 92 unable to get that car down low. So here comes the 18 to his inside. Slide Job was saying that you can run that middle if you got somebody down low, and he just proved. And we got a couple more spinning around on the middle of the backstretch, but I think we might keep it green. They're off the track, no issue. Track's definitely not blocked, and I think they wrecked between themselves, not off of somebody else. So we'll have to see if that caution is called. Slide Job, Fry Dog, and the other admins will make that determination. But right now, as we come down the front stretch, I don't see that 43 sitting at the end of pit road. So, yeah, caution's out.
Yeah, they're going to call it 43s down the backstretch. Just cruising along, but definitely good turn of events, though, for one team. SXRL, man, top 3 spots. They should all come down pit road, and we'll probably see a little bit more strategy. I think we might see a few more people this time by. Try that 2-tire strategy. Try and gain that track position. You know, up front is where you want to be. That's where the clean racing has been all night long compared towards the back.
Yeah, Worm Rider just came across that 4-car of Tyler Brown sitting on pit road. So it looks like he's going to join Randy Hinshaw as a couple of virtual blown motors, transmissions out the window. Who knows with all the carnage that we've seen on the track. Yeah, two cars sitting this one out, watching from the haulers. Might be this place to be.
Yeah, numbers that are sitting out. I hate to say it, it's IVRL cars. So, we've got Nick, we've got Sniper, and we've got Casey Kane. They're going to have to carry that IVRL banner tonight because they're down already, and losing people ain't helping. But Man, SXLRL they've been putting on a clinic tonight. I mean, Burton and Lucky Dog both have been, pretty much dominating the majority of the field. So I mean, it's going to be crazy, Pete.
Yeah, it will. And whoever that was that just subbed anonymously, thank you very much for the sub, sir. Or ma'am. Absolutely appreciate it. Panda Girl, I definitely see you out there in chat. Thanks for coming out, hanging out, telling more than a cape that, man, it's your internet, it's not me. that's got any kind of issue. I'm glad you're here, Panda. Good to see you again.
How about a points update?
Absolutely. Good job. You couldn't have come at a better time. Bring it to us, sir.
Oh, I had the calculator out going nuts on this one. There's 5 different teams in this race. So let's go from top to bottom. SXRL is going to win that stage with 20 points for their team, but very narrowly, as ENEA is going to come home with 17 in stage 1. So very close. Next in line, OMA is going to come home with 9 points. IVRL 5 to TNT's 4.
So very, very close at the top, 20-17. It seems like the guys that we were talking about in the beginning, Worm, you picked Shotgun to possibly get it done, or be the to lead ENEA, and it sounds like you were right. And SXRL, the 13 of Lucky, and the 37 of Word Burton up there keeping it going. So those two teams that we were kind of pointing at in the beginning, it looks like they're getting it done.
Yeah, their team's pulling it together, and I mean, the one on ENA, ever since the road courses Shotgun, I've actually started watching him a little bit more. He can drive, so that was kind of why I veered away, from, like I said before, they're probably going to chastise me later, but, I veered away from the IVRL. I want to see the Cuda race. Shotgun, he's put on a clinic past 2 rounds. But I'm going to be a little partial right here, man. IVRL, down 3, them 3, they've got to carry the torch. They've got to step up there, and they've got to get more points than what they're getting. Get through the field and, make it happen. Let's get some green flag racing going.
Well, we're gonna see that green come on back out next time by. Right now, 37 to Word Burton, and 48 to his outside. Lucky Dog coming up, giving that 37 a little bit of a shove. So I know the 37, just like you, HD, he's got one of those shifters. They can get up, get through the gears. It seems like you get a little bit of just about a tenth in the bank anytime you got a restart. So I'm going to guess that the 37 is going to jump up, but not before that 13's all over his back bumper. I don't think that 48 is going to have a chance to really dive on in. We might actually see our first double wide into turn 1 that we've seen yet tonight.
They're all 3 on a team, so they're probably right now talking to each other, trying to plan something out to how to get them 3 lined up. I mean, we've seen early on, once they get lined up, they're very hard to pass. So I'm guessing maybe Lucky Dog might try and misshift just a tad to be able to let the 48 down behind that 37, or you might see the 37 jump it early, get in front of the 48, pull them around turn 2, and then get down in front of Lucky Dog. I think that's what I would be doing here if I was making the call, but be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it really will. So all you SXRL fans and ENEA fans out there, let's hear you in chat right now. Those are the top 2. Very, very slim margin, only 3 points. 37 Word Burton, 48 to his outside. We're going back green. Let's see who's going to be able to get up and get through these gears the fastest heading into turn 1. 37's got the preferred line. 13 right behind him. 48 was not able to get in, so they're going to pull ahead just a little bit, nose to tail, going down the backstretch.
And that was very interesting. There was a gap there. The 48 could have slid down in front, but Lucky Dog was getting pushed from behind by that 32, and that 32 is diving it down into turns 3 and 4 on the inside of Ward Burton. Lucky Dog now on the outside of the 32 as they come through turns 3 and 4. Out of 4, down the front stretch. It's a drag race for second place.
Drag race for second place right now. 13 trying to keep that 37 moving on that high side. 32 is going to have to back off. 13 came on down, slammed that door shut. 34 behind the 32. Your SXRL teammates between the 37 and Ward Burton and 13, they're actually going to battle it out for first place. 13 is going to have the preferred line going into 3 and 4 here, Worm.
Yeah, and look who's sneaking in. Finally, we've got IVRL running in the front. We've got Sniper, but he is just in the midst of a bunch of SRL. So, I mean, he's got Lucky Dog and Burton both in front of him, so he just needs to tuck in and follow them. You know, ride it out. Hope it stays green so, you know, we ain't pitting every 5 laps like we have.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they keep going through these corners 3 and 4 wide, something's going to have to give, but hopefully this is where their track awareness, this is where their talent kicks in, and they're able to fight their way through. Michigan, very, very aero dependent. Right now, 13's got all that clean air on the nose. Everybody behind him wants it. Keep pretty steady right now. 13 in the wind, 37, 34 in the 48. Hunting pretty close right behind.
Yeah, we got one down in the tri-oval.
Yeah, you got one down in the grass, down the tri-oval, but I think it was just one car. Hopefully we can keep this thing green. Definitely great racing up towards the front as someone disappeared. That may have been the 48 car, and if it was the 48 car that disappeared, that is huge implications going to happen here for XRL.
Yeah, that would be the first car out outside of IVRL. So first car of 48 of Doc Hudson now on pit road. So now SXRL, even though they had a 3-point margin, that can easily disappear when you've got 20. Now we're down to 21 other cars on track. So still 21 other cars, 5 teams, all trying to battle it out. 22-38 right now. They are the closest behind the main pack with the 17. I believe that's Conman right there to give him a big old shove. 3 deep.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see I hate everybody disconnects. I'm glad to see the IVRL ain't the only one suffering server issues tonight. So, I mean, I hope the playing field evens out a little bit more.
So going through the field for SXRL, you know they just lost the 48 of Doc Hudson, but luckily still that 38 car is still running inside the top 10. So they still got 3 cars, Pete, in the top 10. So this is still very manageable for them if they can all finish in the top 10. I don't think it will be a huge loss, especially with them running 1-2 up towards the front. The 24 car of in-car racing just running outside, running about 14th place, so he can kind of sneak his way in there. They still got a good point showing here, I think, in stage 2.
Yeah, well, I think I might have had just a little bit of lag there. It seemed like the 18 was completely stopped. I mean, dead stopped in the middle of 3 and 4. The 22 got collected, so did a couple others. So a little bit of lag might be rearing its ugly head. I think that's going to be enough for a caution. But right there, guys, it really seemed like they were getting spread out, a little bit more of a green flag look to it. We'll have to see if that 43 pulls out.
Top of the field is all spread out. I mean, we're talking about top 5, top 6. I mean, there's a gap between every single car. As they come down the front stretch, it looks like that blue car is not next to that pit wall. So I'm assuming caution is going to be out as Lucky Dog is rolling her down here through turns 1 and 2. Again, Lucky Dog is going to be leading this race. Ward Burton in the 37 running P2. But yeah, there is that 34 car running for IVRL. That's going to be Sniper. Right out your top 3.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like more and more people were pretty content right there with running behind somebody that has been, pretty quick all night long so far. But now, Captain's got that Richard Petty blue machine out here in the wind. waiting for old Lucky Dog to pull on up behind, maybe give him a little bit of love tap in the bumper. But I think pit road might be open this time. We'll have to see if the 13 peels off. And nope, it looks like they're going to stay out. So I'm guessing pit road will be open next time by.
Yeah, it should be. The 13 did not want to make that mistake again. Early on in the race, he went down. I'm guessing when pit road was closing, he ended up going all the way to the back. Well, guess what? He's now worked his way all the way to the front. So, lesson learned here tonight at Michigan for that 13 of Lucky Dog. He's got to mess up with something, right? He's just so fast. Every time you look somewhere on Twitter, he's winning something. So, he's got to make a mistake somewhere. Ended up being that, but find himself back up here, man. Just to round out the top 5, we got the 34 again, a Sniper running in P3, P4s. Yeah, if we can get to him, I wish NASCAR he would figure out this cycle thing.
Give us that counter they promised.
Yeah, here we go. It's gonna be the 32 car, a Twisted Navy, running in 4th place, and right behind him, I can see that's gonna be the 16 of Drew. So that's going to round out your top 5 here tonight so far. Michigan in stage 2.
Yeah, Michigan stage 2. I'll grab us a lap count next time by. The guy that has been nice enough to let us ride along right now over the NEA shotgun. He's sitting back there in about 15th position. He's got Davy Jones right in front of him, and then Brodozer, one of the SXRL drivers. So not all of SXRL is up front. Behind shotgun, looks like it's going to be Dirt to Daytona, and then the 7th, and then Conman. So pit road's open. Everybody's going to come on down. Grab 4 brand new Eagle fuel beads, fill it up with some Sunoco E15 racing fuel, bring it back out on track, and get ready to go. Rock NASCAR, thank you very much for the bit, sir. Absolutely appreciate it. Magic Mike, the last time the score was revealed, I can tell you that the top 2 were separated by just 3 points. So SXRL with an even 20 points, and then ENEA rocking 17 points. So if you're looking for or rooting for one of those guys, or who knows, maybe you weren't. Maybe you didn't want to face them in one of the future rounds. That's where they're sitting right now.
Man, a lot of strategy playing out during that stop. We had 3 cars ended up taking 2 tires. And, I was wondering if anybody would do it. Me personally, that was the longest green flag run I think we've had here tonight so far. So I'm kind of shocked to see people take 2 tires. I think I definitely took 4, but we'll see how it pans out, man. Lucky Dog's going to be right behind him. He's been fast all night long. Sniper's been up there. He's been trying to put the moves on, trying to pass these guys, running in P5 now. So, Pete, you may have a wounded gazelle situation, and it's not just one, man. We got 3 of them, and we got a pack of hungry wolves behind them looking to eat.
Yep, man, I love it when you say that. I gotta get back up here to this 43 that's pacing these guys around. Seeing Bit Skydiver, looks like he pulled it on back down pit road. Let's see. So it looks like we got the 42 Credit One machine. I just talked about this guy, ENEA shotgun, being P15. There he is, like you just said, sitting behind that 43 now pace car. Then to his outside, you got the 32 behind the 42. You've got the 1 of Jacket. Outside of Jacket's going to be the 77. And then your first guy on 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, Eagle Slicks with the stickers. It's going to be the 13 of Lucky Dog, and we know what he's able to do. Kate, thank you for the bit, sir.
HD, I was looking through the field at everybody's car. The only car other than Captain that don't have damage is Ward Burton, at least on my end. So he might have been avoiding a lot of it tonight. He's been up at the front, but he seems to be the only clean-looking car in the whole pack.
And Ward Burton has been, I think Ward Burton, without a doubt, has led the most laps here tonight. So he's got a little scratch right there on the front for me, but I'm sure that's nothing too bad. But be interesting to see now how his car handles back here in the middle of the pack. He's got his buddy Lucky Dog right in front of him. He's on the inside line. Hopefully these guys on the older left side tires can get it going. I'm assuming pace car is going to pull off right now. Take a green.
Yep, Captain's going to go ahead and bring that 43 Petty Blue machine down pit road. You got the 42, the 32, front row 177, then the 13 of Lucky Dog coming up through the gears. 42 is going to hit the line first. 32 is going to drop on down pretty quick. There's the 1 right behind him, and then the 13 of Lucky. So first and fourth right now, all nose to tail. 13 is going to be able to hold that bottom line a little bit easier than somebody on some older tires. I look for him to come ripping through that field, HD.
Yeah, you can see how much better these fresh tires are. Look at the huge run he got out of turn 2. He is all over the back of the 42. A Shotgun, just nowhere to go. Shotgun's going to wash up the track. Lucky Dog to the inside, to the lead with in tow. The 37 of Ward Burton. So we asked it, are tires worth it? You just saw it right there. Lucky Dog from about 7th place to the lead in a matter of 1 lap.
Yeah, he just completely got down, got dirty, got low, and got on. There was nobody that was going to be able to hold him back. He got up, got through the gears, put those brand new Eagle Feel Goods to work, the shifter to work, and man, there's a whole lot of swerving in that back. I don't think we're going to have a wreck. It looks like they were able to hold on to it. Good hands by everybody. Everybody right now trying to dig on that low line. See the 3 car all the way down on the apron, able to hold on to it though. Coming off 4.
And they're 4 right here at the start-finish line. A little bit of contact between Shark and the 24 of In-Car Racing. He does a loopy-loop and pull. Able to hold together enough. JK, he just smacked the inside wall. Now he should be able to get it going, but back to this mid-pack racing as the 18 yet again. More contact with other drivers down the backstretch.
Yeah, down the backstretch, you can bet that 43 is going to come out. He's going to be strapping on his helmet before he collects his field. They seem like they are just being super aggressive. So far, I don't see where cautions come out. I am seeing people all over the place riding the left rear or the right rear of the car right in front of them. They are not showing any mercy. 43 is out on track to try to pick up this field. But boy, for the end of a stage, well, I guess that's why they were driving like that. That was the last lap of the stage, and I'm guessing because we were within 5 laps of the stage, the caution did not come out. And man, everybody that just joined, I definitely want to thank you. You've missed quite a bit so far. These guys are racing super aggressive. Every single one of these 5 teams wants to move on to round 2. Slide Job's got a lot of work ahead of them to try to sort out these points between cars in the wall, cars through the grass, cars facing the wrong way on the backstretch, and the guy that was able to bring it all back to the start stripe. But man, Worm going back 43 into 6 of this time on pit road. Looks like the 2 did not pit, so he's going to drop back. Here we go again, buddy.
Someone else disconnected as well, it looked like. I don't know who exactly it was, but yeah, green flags back in the air. Didn't mean to cut you off, Worm. Take it.
You didn't get me off one bit. It's just, it's a fight out there. And you made a comment earlier, HD, about Ward's car being clean for leading, majority of it. I'd have to sit down and I'd like to see who's led more laps, him or Captain, because the way it's been going, I think Captain's got the lead laps right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to have to go with the 43 car leading the most laps without a doubt here tonight. But, talking about the end of the stage number 2, I think if we're looking at the top 2 teams, SXRL end up getting first and second place, so that should be 19 points. So and we got more contact now. Down into turn 1 towards the middle of the pack, we got cars all over the place hitting the wall. This should bring out the caution yet again. But getting back to what I was saying, man, looks like SXRL ended up getting 19 points for stage number 2. So they got 20 in stage 1, 19 in stage 2. So even with the loss of the 48 of Doc Hudson, I think they are still sitting pretty good.
Yeah, XRL, they put on a show tonight. I mean, they're working as a team and being consistent, track placement, and running the line. So I mean, it's a tongue twister trying to say that. There's too many XRLs. That's too much of it. So it's a tongue twister saying it.
Without a doubt. I mean, like I said early on in the broadcast, there's a lot of new names out here that I'm seeing tonight that I'm not necessarily used to. I'm used to seeing Lucky Dog, Warburton, in-car racing. I've called leagues that these guys have raced in, but you're looking at like a sniper, man. This is my first time seeing a sniper out on track. It looks like he can hold a pretty good line. He was up there challenging for the race lead at one point with Warburton and Lucky Dog diving it underneath. And the only problem that I'm seeing so far at every other league that's out on the track right now is they're just not as organized. Organized is so key, especially when you're points racing, team racing at a track like Michigan. I said earlier, this is more or less like a Talladega, like a Daytona, with the amount of draft out here. If you can get the team together, more than likely you can control the race, and that's what SXRL has done so far.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious what's going on here, HD. Didn't see the 43 come out and collect the field. I guess he had to take a break from all the driving. Man, I don't know. But
he went and got some ice cream.
Yeah, he must have been getting some ice cream. They told him not to come on down, but here he is. So the 13 of Lucky Dog, 37 of Warburton, they're going to lead the charge on down pit road. See a few of these guys that have had some issues sitting in their pit stalls, including that 48. So Doc Hudson again out of it, but so are a couple of guys from IVRL. Rick James checking in, saying Thursday Night Thunder Crew always welcomes new challengers. Devil's Heart, thank you very much for the follow. Parzival, good to see you. As right now we're sitting on about 42 of y'all out there in chat. Definitely want to thank you for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up. You're watching the Fast Family League Showdown race of 5-team wild card. Competition right here from Michigan International Speedway. The first two rounds have definitely seen more than the wanted share of cautions. A couple guys have lagged out. At the last time we got a points update, SXRL was ahead by 3 points. It was 20-17, right ahead of ENEA. And man, we're not over yet. We're stage 3, beginning parts of stage 3. HD, these guys out here on track, I don't think they're laughing.
I think a few of them might be heading over to WWE here after this, and someone's going to get chokeslammed through a table, without a doubt. But there was a huge shakeup here towards the front of the pack. A lot of guys ended up taking 2 tires. So your 2 leaders, the 13 and the 37, get shuffled back to around 10th place. We got new faces up front, but yeah, definitely a rough one, man. And I don't know what's going on with the 43. Maybe he did have to go to the bathroom, but my question is, if the drivers have to go in the race car, does the pace car driver? Do we? I hope we don't.
Well, that's usually where we pull crank it up, mute our mic and run. Yeah. I don't have any NNR commercials that I can run for this. So yeah, that's usually where we pull a crank it up, but I'm afraid if we walk away for a crank it up, there's a caution, then we're sitting nowhere. But here we go again, 17-3, 21-22. They're going to be your top 4. And man, HD, I'm hearing sheet metal getting torn up while they're running a pace lap. These guys are rearing to go. They are anxious. They're restless. They're aggressive. With Rick James out there, I got to throw his P word out there. These guys need to try a little bit of patience. Oh, man.
I think I saw 10 extra haulers just get to the track with new cars for some of these guys. But, yeah, without a doubt, as we got the 17 car of Knockout leading his first laps here tonight at Michigan. On the outside of him, like you said, is going to be the 3 car of Hound Dog as they turn around, turn forward. They should be going green this time by in that Geico restart zone. Let's get them going, Pete.
Absolutely. 17 going to try to get a little bit of a hard charge. Looks like kind of had a little bit of a stutter step. So that allowed the 21 to really get hard on his bumper. 3 could not drop down. 32 is going to challenge him just a little bit. Worm Rider going into 1 and 2. Here we go again.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, you had 42 drop down below the line trying to save it, and they hitting the wall already. HD, did not mean to interrupt you on that one, but I mean, it's a cluster.
You're fine, dude. I mean, that goes with not really calling races together. I haven't called a race in I don't know how long, so I'm sure I've cut off a few people here tonight. But yeah, able to make it through one lap here in the final stage. But like I like saying, man, it is a hornet's nest right there in the middle of the pack. Top two cars, top three have kind of single filed out. They're kind of cruising and a boozing here through turns 1 and 2. But back here, we got cars battling it. You got guys trying to cut up under them. Here's the 9 car of Expert Racing, the 43. Hard into the outside wall. 9 plus 2 here down the backstretch.
Able to hold on to it. That allowed the 34 as well as the Geico 13 Camaro for Lucky Dog, as he'd love to say. Thank you for sponsoring me, Germain Racing. But yeah, 13 moving his way back up from the rear yet again. Definitely did not want to be there. He's got all kinds of traffic and dirty air all around him. But right now, that 17's got everything he wants with that clean air. HD, get a little bit of a green look here, buddy.
Yeah, we got 3 wide here for second place. A 16 trying to force it and spun around up into the track in the middle. Cars dodging, cars weaving. Holy smokes, I think he was the only one. Oh, no, someone back there else was involved, but I don't know how everybody else in the middle of that pack was able to miss this 16 just spinning in the middle of the track. So a good piece of driving for everybody inside the top 15, as it looks like yep, there's that 43 leading some laps again.
And 43 is going to come on out. I tell you what, the one car, the 43 at Trippy Tricks, he ended up sending a car over and over and over. He got plenty of airtime trying to be like Mike, but nope, 43 is going to collect the field one more time. He must have got done with that good humor ice cream, as I'm sure Dohar would probably say. And yeah, he's back out on track, collecting the field. Gonna woe him up one more time so we can call him to set him free again. HD, these guys on pit road have got to be tired of pulling out these fenders, tired of right sides or 4 tires. They got to be out of tires pretty soon.
No, yeah, they had to go to their local Firestone to pick up some more. They'll be running rain tires here before it's all said and done. But yeah, no, the scores are in for Trippy's flip, by the way, and even the Russian judges out there gave him a 10. What a beautiful landing by Trippy, but woo! Yeah, we're
Points update.
Yep, he's stuck it and slid on the roof for a while. And I think I just heard old Slide Job. Nope, I was wrong. Okay, never mind.
Points update.
So I did hear you. I'm not hearing things even though I'm getting older. Points update. Hit us with it, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm going to just shoot you with the total. So we're going to go bottom to top this time. We've got so far TNT at the bottom with only 7 points so far. OMA still in 4th with 17. IVRL catching up with 21. ENEA 26, only 5 points in front of them, and SXRL holds on to their lead with 39.
Wow, so ENEA pulling away by what? Then 14 points, if I'm doing that real quick in my head. Not too shabby, but we definitely saw the 37-13 and one other working very, very well together on one of those restarts, and I believe it was right about the time that the Stage 2 flag flew, so good job by them.
Oh, yeah, definitely good driving by them. Now they just got to finish good. You got to finish it now. You got a nice little points cushion, but you can't let that points cushion get to your head. You know, you still need to take it one lap at a time. You got to get one position better at a time. You got to do it good, man, because you don't want to get involved in the wrecks. We've seen cars get to the back of the pack and not be able to make their way towards the front as things cycle through. It looks like after it's all said and done, a 34 of Sniper from IVRL is going to regain this point. He's going to lead his first laps here tonight with the 17 on the outside.
Yeah, 17 is going to be on the outside. Then you got the 3 to the end, and then the 9 of Expert Racing rocking those Mountain Dew colors. I tell you, it's 43 is pulling ahead. I guess they said, you know what, guys? You guys have been having a whole lot of fun. I need to get on and get out of the way. Let me go. So here we go, 34-17 to the Geico restart zone. Back to green here, HD.
Yeah, the 34 a sniper got a good launch that time by able to clear this 17 by at least 2 car lengths. But this is where you can find yourself in trouble. The 17 is going to be able to pull a good draft off of him through turns 1 and 2. Here he comes off the exit of 2. He's probably going to try and squeeze to the outside. 34 blocking low as they go side by side on the backstretch.
Yeah, side by side down the backstretch. 9 car of Expert Racing pulled a little bit of a power move going through 1 and 2, able to just leave the 3 car in the dirt. 17 looking low, gonna pull a slide job coming off 3 and 4, coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, the 17 set that up beautifully through turns 3 and 4. He arced it high in 3, dove it low out of 4, got up underneath the 34 sniper. Now Sniper trying to do it back to him as he goes down low through turns 1 and 2 and gets him back. But here comes the 9 of Expert Racing with a huge run off of turn 2, battling for the race lead.
Now battling for the race lead, got the 14 with a big old shove right to the back end. We'll have to see if, because they're entering 3 and 4 low, they wash up or not. 9 washes a little bit. 14's going to check up right in the middle of the corner. 9 and 14 are going to stay P1, P2. Behind them, they are side by side, at least 3 or 4 rows deep.
Yeah, Nick Gogol looking to the outside now of the 9 down the front stretch into turn 1. He's got some contests from the 32 down low, but the 14 looking to build a huge run here up off of turn 2 down the backstretch, sneaking up underneath the 9 of Expert.
Yeah, 14's going to be able to get that run to the inside. 32 is going to give him a nice little arrow shove. Here comes the 13, a lucky dog. A little bit of a lag by the 32. Great job by the 13 to dodge that. He must have Jedi reflexes if he was able to see that before it happened. He got around that 32 even before he kicked. So 14, he's going to be able to get up, get under, and get gone by that 9.
No, I'm not talking about the 18 of Shark. I'm talking about the 13 of Lucky Dog looking to pounce now. He's worked his way all the way up to second place, up underneath the 9 of Expert, working out, able to clear him down the back stretch. Here we go. More contact in the middle of the pack. This may bring out a caution. Looks like they're all able to hold it together, though. I don't know. There goes someone spinning down in turn 3. 32 now. 3 wide with the 37 of Ward Burton up the P3.
Yeah, working my way back up there right now. 1 car spinning off of turn 4, and for the we're watching the 9 of Expert really try to get after. It seems like he might have a little bit of a short run car, but that 43 Petty Blue Camaro is pulling back out on track. These guys, after that tight side by side and under and over racing, they're gonna need a sip of something. But man, that was a great bit of racing right there.
Brought back some old NNR memories right there. Calling
There
races
you
like
go.
that. Woo! About time, man. Got some green flag laps in. Holy smokes. That was definitely good running there. Ooh, the 17, not happy with the 9, give him a little bit of bump. But, nah, that was definitely fun. That was great racing, as it looks like possibly the 14, actually maybe. I thought 13 and Lucky Dog, I'm getting them, but 14 is going to be the race leader as they pace around here in turns 3 and 4. I don't think they're going to be coming down this time. They've usually been going around 1 extra lap.
Yeah, 3rd and 4th right now. Neither one of them can decide who belongs where. 32 showing a little bit of lag. 13, a Lucky Dog was able to get on by him. 14's got a bit of hood damage. It looks like pits are going to be open. Not sure if this is to save time as we're working a little past about 10:15 right now. For anybody out there that needed a time check, want to thank all y'all out there for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up. Yee Nation, thank you very much for the follow. The same thing as Devil's Heart, if I didn't already say it. Guys, I tell you what, go on up, slam that follow button, subscribe if you can. If you've got Amazon Prime, you'll never see a commercial unless it's from me personally, but that's during the NNR races, which, by the way, the NNR Truck Series kicks off this Tuesday night right around 9:30 p.m., the Xfinity on Wednesday, and the good old Cup guys on Thursday night also at 8:30. So we're getting ready to get that season back going here on Heat 5. Make sure you keep up, and it's gonna be one hell of a season.
Now, NNR is where basically where I started broadcasting. Honestly, that's where it kind of that's a lot. Well, no, NNR. I'm gonna say NNR. NNR is where it all kind of started with me, broadcasting. Back then it was previously known as something else, but great group of guys. I love all of them, man. Great racers, without a doubt, man. What a great league that Coe, Stout, and them boys definitely run over there.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You got a couple brand new admins. You got NNR SWATs. He's overseeing the truck operations. J-Paw's overseeing the Xfinity series, and then of course Coe. He's still watching over the Cup cars. Boehner is an admin, right along with Stout Whiskey. They've done a lot of great work in the off season. And talk about work. Here we go, back to the Geico restart zone here at Michigan International Speedway. Irish Hills of Michigan. We've seen these cars go up and down and all around more than they want to. But right now, 14-13 in the lead.
42 a shotgun, tried taking a new line down here in turn 1 through the grass, and it didn't really work out. I don't know what happened right there. I don't know if he got forced down there, but it was not the correct way to go around. But 13 of Lucky Dog here got a good launch. He's actually looking to the outside of the 14, looking to pull a power move here up off of turn 4. There's a big gap between them, so this is a head-to-head battle down the front stretch. This time by is going to be Lucky Dog at the stripe as they go down into turn 1.
They're going down into turn 1 pretty deep. Lucky's got the high line. 14 down low. 13's going to be able to set that throttle pretty quick. He's going to be able to keep that high line momentum all the way off up against that wall. 14 to the inside. I would expect that 14 to come on up, maybe try to drag that 13 back just a little bit. Pretty smooth. 13 dove it in just a little bit deeper. 14's going to try to dive it in. No such luck. Put that Geico Chevrolet back to the point.
Yeah, Lucky Dog back out front, leading this thing. The only thing is he doesn't have a teammate behind him, so does 14. Will try and build a run up here, probably out of turn 2. He backs the corner up just a bit. Here he comes through the center. Good run coming off, possibly. Here he comes all over the rear bumper of Lucky. Will he dive down low? Yes, he does. Here we go. Still side by side for the race lead.
Side by side, the 14 should have the preferred line going in. Did Lucky use up all his stuff in order to get past that 14? We'll have to see if he's got anything left or if he's just content riding behind. Lucky looking high. 14 going to come up to slightly block. It's going to be the 14 at the line with the 13 of Lucky pretty close to that right rear.
Yeah, pulling a little bit of side draft on the 14 as they go down into turn 1. They still got about a 7-car length distance between them and third place. Lucky looking to the outside. 14 down low. A little bit of contact made out of turn 2. A little bit of more contact. We're banging doors down the backstretch. Oh, big there towards the back of the pack.
Big back towards the back of the pack. It would be very, very interesting to see these guys race it back to the line. If that is going to be a caution, can the 13 dig all the way back? Going to try to pull the 14 back a little bit of a slide or side draft. No such luck. It's going to be the 14 at the line by a nose. So if that's a caution, 14 should have the lead right there. Woo!
Yeah, caution is out. 14 definitely had him. You said it, by a nose. That's going to bunch everybody back up. That was a good piece of driving between the 14. Who tried? I said it earlier, man. Nick Goebel.
Yeah.
Nick Goebel, man. No. Yeah, Nick Goebel. Yeah, Nick Goebel in that 14 car. No, he's definitely doing good up there. Competing well with the 13 of Lucky Dog. And that's what I like seeing, man. With, like, people I don't necessarily know. I know Lucky Dog. I know what he's capable of. But 14, Nick Goebel really showing his cards, saying, hey, I know you just won Season 2 of the Pro League, but I'm here to win as well. Great battle between those two.
Sebi out there asking about a points update. Sebi, I can tell you, I don't know the exact numbers, but right now, SXRL is up 14 points over ENEA. Bringing it all down pit road. I tell you what, these jackmen, these tiremen, they're getting one hell of a workout. Nobody's going to need to visit the gym this week. We'll have to see who's going to be able to get out. 14 and 13, we're very, very close to the line on that last one. 14 won it at the line, so he was the first person behind the control car, or behind the pace car, rather. But let's see whose crew's going to get him out first.
They might have to visit a few chiropractors, though. I think a few drivers might have to as well, the amount of hits these guys are taking tonight. And it looks like the 14 was able to edge out Lucky Dog. So looks like the front row is going to be the 14 of Nick Goebel with the 13 of Lucky Dog on the outside of him.
Yeah, so these guys really got after it before that caution came out. Lucky definitely used up a lot of his right rear in order to pass the 14 on the high side. Then you saw the 14 really check up just a little bit early in order to carry more momentum coming off the corner. So we'll see if they put on the same kind of a show, or maybe the 13 with that equipment he's got, maybe he can get up and try to get gone. But right now the 14 will have the preferred line once we set him free after going into turn one. Not sure if it's going to be this time around or the next one. We'll have to see. More
times than not, the guy who's starting on the outside, if he gets a good start, more than likely he's going to be leading the lap, because you get such a draft pool coming off of turn two. There's just literally nothing the leader can do to block that. So if Lucky Dog gets a good start, I kind of expect him to possibly be leading this thing once we get back to the start-finish line. But pace car is off. Nick is looking to take us green. There he goes. Green flag back in the air here in Michigan. Lucky Dog getting a good start with the 92 right behind him pushing. Here we go. Lucky Dog actually looking low right off the bat down into turn one.
Yeah, that 14 was really running all over the inside. I mean, they could have handed a water bottle to each other and still had a little bit of arm's length to go. The 14 was all over the door of the 13, heading into the restart zone. So 14's got the line, 13's right there with him. A little bit of a love tap to the back bumper. A little bit of separation between the top three. Back to the 37 of Word Burton. 92 putting himself in the mix.
Yeah, and IVRL's got two cars in the top three right now. That 92 is on that team as well. That's Casey. We got 13 of Lucky looking high. Surprisingly, the 92 looks like he's going to go with him. He might be trying to arc it here, get a good run off, and help his teammate in the 14 down the backstretch. But it looks like the 37 of Ward Burton was able. There we go. 92 right behind his teammates. Going to give him a good push, and they should clear Lucky through turns 3 and 4.
No, 14 and 92 going to be nose to tail. A little bit of a shot to the back end of that 13 is going to send him up just a little bit. 14 now got a little bit of an arrow push from that 41. 92 is going to stay low as well. So you've got the 37 of Word Burton and the 13 of Lucky to the high side. They got 4 cars below. And just like at Daytona or Talladega, 4 against 2, especially on that high side, will win out every time. 13, though, trying to dig back in that throttle.
And we got more cars towards the back of the pack spinning around. This may bring another caution, as it looks like we were almost 3 wide there for a minute for P2. But yeah, 13 Lucky Dog still on the outside, battling hard as the 92 of Casey Kane is trying to get it. 41 almost got to the inside of Nick. Oh, that would have been a battle to see if they went 3 wide for the race lead. But here we go. Side drafting galore down the front stretch. 92 forcing his nose in there. Almost spun the 41 around.
Yeah, almost, but not quite. 14 is trying to do everything that he possibly can.
And caution is out, I think.
Yep. Let's see.
And I need a good old water break.
It, sir. There you go. All right, as the 42 comes across the start stripe that time, there are a lucky, or who knows, unlucky 13 laps to go here, Worm. 13 to go. Your buddy in that 14 has done very, very well to keep that Mustang up towards the front in the clean air, having to ward off some pretty great drivers.
Well, you remember when we started, I said the one other than, Tyler being the one to watch that would sneak in would be Nick. He's actually showing how he can drive, and I said it earlier also. If you can set up there and run Pro League, everything, you've got statements to say for yourself. And we've actually been seeing, Nick give him a run for his money. So but we've got the pit road computers taking over, and it looks pretty rough.
Yeah, thank God the lag damage doesn't really affect to what they've got out there on track. Otherwise, everybody here would be garbage. So, yeah, it's funny, 704 or Monster or Motorsport or whoever they are nowadays, they keep rebranding every year, it seems. Um, they try to fix one thing, but you know, ruin three or four other things. But we're gonna work our way back out there. Looks like Captain in this Petty Blue 43 NASCAR Heat Camry, about halfway down the backstretch, waiting on these guys to catch up to him. But yeah, Worm, they're doing a hell of a job. Um, IVRL's got a couple bullets left in. So far they've been playing Russian roulette and keeping that one round for them out of the chamber, and not really having to dodge too much. 14's been pretty strong since we restarted stage 3. Mrs. Devil's Hard, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's been, like you said, it's been a game of Russian roulette all night. They're fixing to pull the trigger again, and everybody prays to God they don't catch that bullet.
Rock NASCAR out there asking, what is the lap count as the 42 of Shotgun comes across the start stripe? It is 11 laps to go as we're watching the 13 of Lucky Dog and the 14 of Nick do battle side by side. They've been doing this now for about the last 5 or 6 laps prior to that caution coming out. Lucky very, very high up on the wheel. 14 and Nick right there. Now we got the 41, the 92, and the 37 all nose to tail on the bottom. But the 13 of Lucky, he's got that clean air, able to get up and get going both in and off the corner. 14 is not really in his hip right now as we've been seeing, but it looks like we might have something going on. Yep, the entire back half of the field just got collected when the 14 lost control. Caution will be out one more time.
Yeah, that 38, either 38 or 14, one of them got loose down. I saw somebody going through the grass. He lost it and shot up, and it was, whew. The only car I'd like to be running around now is the Cottonelle car, because every one of them probably needs some toilet paper.
Yep, I'm riding on board. I'm riding on board right now with the 37 Burton, and as we, yeah, I tell you, Worm, as we continue to roll the 43s on the backstretch, waiting for these guys, and that was 9 to go. So when the 42 came across the line, I don't believe he's a lap down. No, he's sitting right around 13th place. We haven't had a long enough green flag race for anybody to go a lap down unless they were caught in the pits. But 9 laps to go. You figure 2 laps to cut it out for pit stops and whatnot to get back going. Once we hit 5 laps to go, no more cautions. It's game on. So I'm hoping that the guys up front, the 14, 92, 37, 13, these other guys, who else is back here? Some of these guys, I'm hoping that they've all got the integrity to race up front hard. Keep it clean, keep it green. Nobody wants to, you don't want to be that person that wrecks the leader just because. I mean, there's a bit on the line, but as Stout Whiskey would actually say, he enjoys the relationships aside from the game, outside of what happens on track. He's not going to wreck somebody on track and then have to answer for it later on. I like that. I like the way that he thinks about that. There's a lot of friends here, whether you race for one team or another. Man, when it's all said and done, the cars are parked, you got to go back to a party with that person and say, hey, man, what happened? And you got to explain yourself. So hopefully when cautions are out, these guys can get it done the right way. And Cape out there in chat, he's saying that somebody's going to get moved for the win. Man, I hope not. I really do. but unfortunately, I think you're right. It has been, very, very close, very competitive up at the front. The 13, and the 14, they've been dueling. The 92 and the 37, they've been dueling. The 32, he's been between the top 5, top 10 all night long. So one more lap under pace to corral everybody back up. They're about to go 2 wide back at the line. HD, we're cutting it close here, buddy.
I'm shocked no one came down and took 4.
At this point, I think track position just means too much.
No, I agree, but we saw, and we actually did get a little green flag run that the tires were just so dominant. Me personally, I think, well, it would have been a wrong call because obviously no one else came down, but I would have came down and took 4, but no, you're definitely right. I think they're right for staying out, especially Lucky Dog and the 14 of Nick. But I'm just shocked more people did not come down, around like 10th, 12th place, like why they didn't come down and get 4 fresh tires. I think that would have been a good call, but what do I know, man? I'm an amateur.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Words of wisdom there.
There you go. Master Killer out there in chat saying, glad to see HD again. MK, I'm glad that he's here too. I asked him earlier, said, man, can you come on out? And I was actually shocked when he said yes. So, HD, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad you've been here tonight, buddy. It's been a lot of fun.
It's been something. But get ready to go back green. No,
well,
not.
43 is going to keep out here one more time.
HD's head's kind of swollen. God the GOAT. He's been called royalty. He's like, I come in for one night and I feel great. I'm leaving again.
Pete always calls me the GOAT. I don't know why.
Absolutely. All right, so guess what? They're setting this up. I think, 6 laps remaining here in the final stage. It's about to get hectic. What's the under-over on making it all the way around back to the line before something happens?
I don't see him doing it. This is going to be an overtime finish. I mean, the way it cautions like crazy, 5 less. It's going to be a slaughter fest out here just to see, who's hitting who, and because everybody's fixing to get aggressive, Pete, and they're going for that 1 point to make the difference. So let's see who comes out on clean on this one.
Well, I tell you what, I just thought of something. I said 6 to go. That means when they come to the line, when the pace car releases them, that's 5. Cautions are off. They are nose to tail. Every bullet is loaded in the chamber, ready to be pulled. We'll have to see if 13 is going to be able to hold off the 14, or if the 14 is going to have a way around old Lucky, like what Lucky did to him earlier. But now the 13's got the 37 of Word Burton right behind him, 43 right behind him. Back to green, 5 laps to go. Cautions are out the window. I hope it's not going to be a free-for-all, but I want to see these last 5 laps heavily fought out here, HD.
This is where you start praying to your 6-pound, 8-ounce baby Jesus that you can make it to the end, because we're going to see some crazy, insane stuff as cars are already wrecking towards the back, but it's going to be the 13 of Lucky Dog down low, blocking the white line, 14 of Nick P2, and a 37 of Ward Burton going to round at the top 3, so we got 2 teammates in the top 3 as they go through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4. It looked like the 14 looked a little low. Got loose, hit that line, took out the 37 of Word and many, many other cars. That's going to leave the 13 up front all by himself. Word able to grab a gear pretty quick. Back on the throttle. He's going to pass a couple cars. They're still spinning all the way down the front stretch.
And 13 of Lucky Dog able to make it through that. I guess Leading's the place where you want to be. But the 43 of Trip, he was able to kind of hang on to the draft. He's got the 22 behind him, followed by the 42 and a 24 of In-Car Racing. So SXRL still sitting pretty good. 2 of the top 5 are their cars as they come out of turn 4 down the front stretch to be 3 to go this time by.
Yeah, 3 to go. 13 still in the lead. 92 right there. Here's the 22. 42 of ENEA shotgun. Worm, he was your pick to possibly try to knock it out of the park for ENEA, and here he is up front. Little bit of chin music to that 22. 24 might hit that wall just a little bit. 42 got loose halfway down the backstretch. HD going back into 3 and 4.
Yeah, going back into turns 3 and 4. Lucky Dog still has control of this. He's got a 3-car length lead on the 43. Trippy as they come out of the turn. Trippy running extremely low. 22 might be able to get a little bit of run, but he's got a mirror for the 24 car of in-car racing.
I'd love to know if any of these guys right here behind the 13 just happen to come off pit road and just be able to work their way through that wreck. 13 really keeping it low all the way through 1 and 2, coming up towards the wall, shedding as little speed as possible through the last half of the corner. Here comes the 42, giving the 22 of Conman a little bit of a push. So ENEA guys back to back. Either one of them is going to take the spot. It's still points in the bank for ENEA, but up front, off four, it's still going to be the 13.
Yeah, white flags in the air this time by Lucky Dog at the stripe. 24 all over the 43 as they go down low through turns 1 and 2. In-car racing trying to wrap up a 1-2 finish for SXRL. Out of turn 2, he gets it done with a slider down the backstretch.
Yep, all the way down the backstretch, keeping an eye right now on that 13. He's got a pretty good gap back to the 24. All he's got to do is hit his mark, get off the throttle, get on the throttle, keep it above that white line. I don't see a finish reminiscent of NNR. Just last season, 24 is going to try everything he's got. No draft was enough right there to pull him up. Lucky Dog is going to come across the line, giving a P1 max points finish to SXRL. Behind him, you have the 24 of NCAR, 43 of Trippy Tricks, 42 of ENEA Shun, 22 of Conman, 18 of Mark the Fat Shark, 34 of Sniper, and that's about all I was able to get off the menu right there. But either way, most teams very, oh man, that was a great finish.
Yeah, great finish, and I need to head back to my beach. But no, yeah, no, it was some good racing out here between some of these guys, especially towards the front of the pack. A lot of good battles towards the front, towards the middle and the back. I'm not really sure what was going on. Maybe it was a combination of guys newly racing around each other, or guys just say, "Yeah, no, here's my door." But it was fun calling a race again.
Yeah, well, you know you're welcome anytime, buddy. And if you're not going to be starting up until October, you know that NNR starts next Thursday night for the Cup right here in Michigan. You've got an open seat, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Really do.
All right, so Lucky Dog in that 13, able to get it done. Again, the 24, I left off, I believe, at Sniper earlier. Casey Kane, Davy Jones, ENEA Hydra, and Jacket rounded out your top 10 or top 11. So almost every team was represented inside the top 10. We know that SXRL had a 14-point cushion going into Stage 3. We'll have to see if Slide Job's able to wear down the batteries on that calculator pretty quick and grab us a points update. Definitely not going to be a finale. I'm sure there's going to be some rough driving penalties and all kinds of things that they're going to have to address before the final points are tallied up and posted within the next day or so. I know Lucky, or not, I'm sorry, not Lucky. Slide Job said that he wanted to get all this wrapped up before he went away on a little bit of a mini vacation. HD, maybe you'll catch him at the beach. Who knows? You could use them for a little bit of block so you don't catch all that sun.
I'll be honest with you, I really wasn't paying attention.
Oh, that's just nice of you. I tell you.
Being honest, right? At least I'm being honest. Hey,
Going to the beach with Slide Job.
I'm already half-assed heading to my car, man, going back to the beach. That might be a little while before I come back, but nah, man, it was Good job to Lucky Dog, man. I mean, every time you look, like I said, every time I scroll through Twitter, it's Lucky Dog. Man, what a card we had tonight. What a win. And there we go again. He's won another one.
Yeah, Lucky. He's been very very fast. The only guy that's beat him out on the on during the pro league was the one and only Track Bar. I think Track Bar set almost every single record this year, but when it came down to it at Bristol, Lucky did what he had to do to get around Track Bar, and he went on to win the championship. And I think like 30 grand this year was the prize for the champ. So Lucky showing that he can get it done both on setups and here in the preset world. SXRL was knocked out in the super speedway round by American Ethanol, which is the team headed up by the one and only Alpha York. But looks like SXRL might be right back in the thick of things, and they're going to go up against Shake and Bake. So you're about to see another great race between those two teams whenever that schedule may work out.
Yeah, they're most definitely not going to get a break. Going from this and then S&B, they're going to have their hands full.
Absolutely, they will. As more and more people are starting to load or come on into the booth after their cool down lap. I see David Jones, I see Shotgun, I see Sniper. So slowly but surely working their way in. There's Slide Job.
We're gonna do top driver from each league and the owner seat.
All right. So top driver from each. I know I saw Shotgun, I saw Sniper, I saw David Jones all in the top 10. Who came in behind Lucky Dog?
It's gonna be Trippy Trick in a
All right.
second here. He'll be.
All right. Slide Job, I don't want to be you going through all those videos. I'm sure that were caught, sir.
Oh boy, I still have to record these 25 driver points, so it's gonna be wild.
No doubt.
I just want to know who's getting choke slammed through a table first. That's what I want to see. When does that happen?
All right. Where's that 13 at? He's not here yet either.
Pete and HD, we've got the fun job up here. I would hate, and I've said it before, I'd hate having sliding Ford's job, having to look through all the videos, justify everything. You couldn't pay me enough to do that job.
I hear you. We were talking earlier, or actually Slide Job mentioned it earlier, and A kind of reiterated it. 42 teams, over 500 people, 500 different personalities that you got to deal with. I wouldn't want to be Slide Job or Ford Tough or any of the admins that have had to catch any kind of grief during this entire showdown. Which again, HD, you mentioned that you go back. I go all the way back to NASCAR 09. That was actually the first game I ever got on. There has never been another showdown series like this that has come to fruition. There's been talk about it a couple times in the different leagues that I've ran in and leagues that I've run, but it's never actually came to be. So I tip my hat to everybody that's put this entire showdown together.
Without a doubt. I mean, I know I've called races before where you had 3-4 leagues come together. They do like a league race and who's the best league. I'll be honest with you, man. Like I said, I knew this was going on, but I didn't know it was this big. I didn't even know there's 42 leagues out there on the Xbox side. So it's great to see all these leagues come together. Everybody putting a great show on. A little chaotic tonight, but I'm sure there's been races out there that have been phenomenal to watch for people. But yeah, what a great thing to see, and what a great thing for the community here.
Oh, absolutely. We've had many races that were completely caution-free, or maybe one caution or something like that. Tonight was a bit of a break from what the norm has been. Made it a little exciting, but at the same time, I would have rather seen them race it out. The people that had set up for the long run car, all the time, all the effort, all the energy to build the right setup for a plate, for what could be a plate track when you're going 215, 216 into turns 1 or 3. So Still waiting on the 13 of Lucky Dog to pop on into the booth. I don't see.
He's in here now.
Is he? Okay. What about second
Mhm.
place?
I know.
Second place is here also, or second
Okay, yep, I
the
see. I see Trippy.
top
Okay.
driver from there, and it looks like we got almost everybody. So you can go ahead.
All right. Worm, you want to talk to Trippy?
Let me find him. Trippy. Trippy. Man, how did you feel tonight? Y'all finally pulled it together, getting up there in one of those top finishes, man. The last few laps of it. What was going through your head on everything?
I mean, yeah, my car felt pretty good all day. I had a long run adjustment. I had to switch it to just with all the racing and wreck, and I had to switch it to a short run, so it made my car a lot better. So I was able to stay up for the front more. But those last couple laps under that caution, in my head I was thinking whatever the leader does, whatever the leader does, I'm gonna do as well. So I stayed out, and I was just trying to help as much as possible to help my team get as good as a finish I could have, and we came out P3.
Yeah, you put a showing out, and you carried the torch for OMA, and they had some rough breaks, but like IBRL and Thursday Night Thunder did. But I mean, dude, that was an awesome race. Aggression, y'all kept it down. Everybody did. It was good and clean. Pete.
All right. HD Motorsports, I know you know this guy from season 1 of the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. Raced against him many times. I think Lucky Dog deserves your company, sir.
All right, Lucky Dog, man. I tell you what, Lucky. And I said it earlier when Pete gave me this list. A lot of names I didn't realize, but your name definitely popped out. I was like, yeah, I'm picking him to win no matter what. But nah, congratulations on the win tonight. Like I said, dude, every time I look on Twitter, you're posting about a win. Just take me through your race here tonight.
Holy cannoli. That was that was I kept it cool, but it was stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I felt like I did a really good job keeping it cool. Like I wasn't really chattering on the radio. I just kept running my race. But like that final restart, oh my goodness, that was really intense because I stayed out and I was just kind of hoping I could hold the bottom and then just try and hopefully create a gap out of a corner. And then I kind of messed up with the 14. And then there was a little bit of wreck there, and then which I didn't mean to cause. I think he just got under me, and then it got him loose or something. And then we just tried to pull away, and then I didn't realize that NCAR was on freshies and really made that close, which looked pretty good for you guys, hopefully. But I just got to say, I'm really happy to be back at Victory Lane. It feels really good, especially after last week at Talladega when we just, us as a team, we just really didn't, things just didn't go our way, and we didn't really work that well with each other. There's a lot of things that we could have improved on, and I feel like we improved on it overall. A lot of us got put in bad situations, but we all persevered. Like Enkar was in the back the whole race, but he made his way to second. So you just never give up in these deals. And obviously, got to thank SXRL for allowing me to represent them in the FFRL League Showdown, especially in this little wild card event. I'm really happy. I'm really stoked. I got to say shout out to Enkar for the P2 and Doc, Tim, and Bro for racing with us, and also got to thank Sebi and Roy Air for helping us on the spotter box. Got to thank you guys for doing a great commentary. Great to see you back, HD. It's been a long time, and obviously Geico and Germain Racing for the support in the Pro League, because we've won a championship there, and just I'm really happy because that was super intense, and Michigan's really tough to race on because it can go either way for you because there's a lot of draft and it's all about track position, and we just played everything smart, and we were able to go from the back to the front, to the back to the front, and just, yeah, the car was really good. So just, yeah, woo, that was great.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I can tell you definitely won once or twice because you thanked everybody in the world. So, no, but congratulations to you, dude. Definitely well-deserved. You had a great car all night long, and congratulations to SXRL as well as I think moving on to the next round. So good luck to you guys in that.
Thank you.
All right, well, slide job. That's if we're just gonna do the top two from that. I guess you're gonna move on to the team owners, yeah?
Well, no, we're doing top one driver from each league. So you talk to the top driver from OMA, you talk to the top driver from SXRL. Next would be the top ENEA driver, ENEA shotgun.
All right, Shotgun, it's repeat. You got me, sir.
Yes, sir. I copy.
Shotgun, thank you very much for allowing us to tag along all night long on that 42, Credit One Camaro. Man, I saw you here and there all around the track, sometimes not in the best situation, other times in very good situations. Definitely started digging at the tail end. Take us through those last 2 or 3 laps where you were really all over the back bumper.
Well, first off, I have to say, that wreck that happened in front of me definitely gave me a scare, to say the least. It was just, what a crazy race. I mean, pushing my teammate up there, and unfortunately, he had a little bit of damage, so he was a little bit slow down the straightaway, but we still made the most of what we had. I know I definitely didn't have the best car. I didn't have enough time to practice to dial in my setup, so it's cool that we get to finish fourth. Fourth is better than 22nd, so I'll take it. And can't thank my league enough, ENEA, for letting me drive for them in this tournament. It definitely means a lot.
Well, I got to tell you that Worm Rider, he picked you in the beginning of the race. He actually broke ranks a little bit, pulled away from IVRL, and said, I think that Shotgun is going to get it done. You impressed him during the road course round, so it sounds like you got a pretty big fan up here in the booth. We saw where you in the 22 were duking it out a little bit. When you got by him, it was still going to be point for point because both of you were representing the ENEA right there in the top 5. So it's going to be a pretty good points night, I believe, for you guys. We'll have to wait until they're all tallied up and all is said and done, find out who's going to move on. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you guys for sitting up there in the booth and watching that race.
Thanks for putting on the race. All right, Slide Job, who's next, sir?
All right, next is the top driver from, it's going to be IVRL, is GRC Sniper.
All right, Worm, you got old Sniper, sir.
I'll take Sniper.
How you doing tonight, Worm?
I'm doing good, man. We was down by 2 members. I mean, y'all had to step up. You carried the flag for IVRL. You and Casey both did. You came out higher. The last few laps, you and Casey back and forth, man, what was going through your head? Working with them, getting up there, getting points. I mean, how you feel tonight?
I'll tell you what, man. Arms a little shaky. It definitely was a tough grid race tonight. Casey and I, we both try to work better as a team. You know, we didn't have a really good showing out in that last super speedway bout. So this week we focus on our teamwork, getting through the field, getting through the pack. And I know in that last stage we had most of our guys up there, top 5 to top 10. But yeah, it was definitely a struggle. Anytime you get sharks in a fish tank, you know, you're gonna have some more blood in the water. But it was definitely a battle tonight. You know, hats off to all the other league drivers. They were tough. You know, it was just trying to come out, right, work together as a team and push up to the front.
Well, I was impressed by everybody. I mean, y'all held y'all's own being down. I mean, XXRL down. So everybody kind of had a handicap. Man, y'all done an awesome race as a whole. Clean there towards the end after the lower 5s, but it was clean after that. Everything settled. So, man, congratulations winning it for the IVRL. HD, I think you can take the next one for it.
That driver is going to be the top scoring driver for TNT. It's going to be Davy Jones.
All righty, Davey, man. It's HD. Got a copy.
Davey, you're there on mute, sir. If you can please unmute yourself.
Looks like we might not have him for right now. All right. So that's going to be until he comes back. We're going to talk to the owners as the unofficial points are in. So basically, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go bottom to top in unofficial points and talk to each owner. But obviously, as you guys saw, there's probably going to be a ton of footage we're going to have to go through. So these are just the raw scores. But, they probably don't mean too much. But let's just see how close they are, though. So finishing in fifth place with 124 points today, it's going to be IVRL. We have Randy Hinshaw here. So, Randy, you guys were kind of in a hole early, but your guys rallied back with 3 drivers and actually scored a ton of points for your team. If the scores stay the way they are, you guys would be eliminated unless you get the fan vote. So, tell us how your team worked together throughout the competition as a whole in this race, and what are you proud of?
Well, unfortunately, I lagged out, and then Tyler accidentally backed out trying to clip something. But so that was unfortunate to start off. But we just wanted to work together. So anytime we had the chance, we just tried to push one another and try and make the most of it all night. But unfortunately, we dropped out, and we just tried to help as much as we could by getting in the party and communicating. But just a tough night again, and struggle we battle every week. Trying to compete with all these tough leagues.
Absolutely, and IVRL is a fantastic league. So let's give the fans a place to look. So if there are drivers or fans out there that want to follow IVRL or join IVRL, how can they do that?
You can find us on Facebook, the International Virtual Racing League, and then we're on Twitter as @IVRL Racing.
All right. Well, guys out there, if you're looking for a fantastic custom / preset league, because they do a little bit of both, Xfinity being presets, Cup being customs, check these guys out. Awesome group of guys. One of the fastest leagues on Xbox, clearly. Give these guys some likes and follows. Awesome group. All right, moving on. By 1 point, scoring 125 points, is going to be OMA. So we have, let's see who we got in here. We have only,
I can speak.
yeah, we have Trippy in here. So, Trippy, you guys, finished 4th, but by 1 point there, pretty close. Tell us your view of your journey throughout the tournament and how your guys raced as a team tonight.
Just I would just like to shout you out for setting this all up for us because for me it's been a joyride. It's been very eventful with racing against all these other leagues that we've never come across of, and for me personally, and I think I could speak for a lot of people, we're glad to come across of. We get to see other talent that aren't really shown on stream, whether they can't stream or they're just not known enough. But tonight it wasn't the best for our team. I know I probably outperformed a lot of my teammates, and we're happy that we just get a chance every week to race, and hopefully we get the fan vote.
Absolutely, you guys made it quite far, as all these teams did. Definitely not ashamed to go home at this point. So again, for you, if people out there want to join or follow OMA, how can they do that?
They can follow us on Instagram and Twitter under OMA_league. Anybody and everybody and anybody is allowed to sign up. Right now we're in the middle of tryouts, so if you guys would like to sign up, just let us know. Let me or anybody know. Web Network, he's not here, but you guys could join if you really want to, and it's very fun racing over there.
Absolutely. Check these guys out as well. I believe you guys are on Twitter too. I believe it's, what is it, OMA_league?
Yeah, OMA_league. It's the same for Instagram.
Absolutely. Too. Yeah, check those guys out. Another awesome league, great group of guys, super fast. So thank you for that. And then moving on to 3rd place by 5 points TNT's going to come up with 130 points. I believe we have COT Tommy in the party here. So, Tommy, you guys were at the bottom of the bottom coming into stage 3, but your guys rallied back to finish third with 130 points. So, tell us how proud you are of your guys not giving up and fighting through all of that chaos.
I mean, first off, I want to repeat what everyone's been saying here, and thank you and Ford and all the officials and commentators who made this possible. But the first 2 stages we didn't really get that many points, and we had a little bit of trouble. But third stage we came on strong. We got Twisted up in the top 3, and he got caught up in that last wreck. So not sure how that would have change things up, but we definitely, at the beginning of this tournament, no one really knew who we were, and we made it to the third round. So definitely proud of these guys and everybody that's contributed to this.
Absolutely. To put on the performance you guys did, with all of the talent in the NASCAR heat community, you guys definitely showed you guys mean business. So if people want to join,
sorry, I got dropped out of the Discord, guys.
And, it's all good. We'll get you in a second. If people want to check out Thursday Night Thunder and race with you guys, or see what you're all about, watch the great Rick James commentate, how can they do that?
They can find us on I'm Rick James 36, his stream. They could also find us on Instagram, Thursday Night Thunder, all one word, or they could contact myself, COT Tommy, Lurkin Tom Gaming, or Deplorable Me 44, and we'll get you in here. We're always looking for new guys, and yeah, that's about it.
Absolutely. Check these guys out as well. They're an awesome group. You've seen what they can do on the racetrack, so go give them a follow. And I'm Rick James as well. All right, moving on. Why don't HD? Why don't you take Davy Jones, top finisher from TNT, while we're at it?
All right, Davey, you got a copy?
Yeah, I do. Sorry about that, guys.
Nah, you're fine, man. I'll tell you what, man. Was it the night you won it? Let's just say everybody wants to win. It just didn't happen. What could you have done a little bit differently to be able to get up there and compete possibly with a lucky dog for the race win?
Qualifying. I got stuck in the middle of the pack, and every time someone wrecked, it was pretty much right in front of me. Couldn't avoid it. Those last 2 restarts kind of backed off a little bit, let the wrecks happen. I ended up getting through them. Took 4 freshies at the end and started like 18th. Moved my way up to like 7th. Got moved. Dropped back and then fought back. Decent finish. My worst finish of the entire tournament. But I'll take it. It was a battle. My car was set up for the long run. And it was bad fast. But those short runs, I kind of threw a bunch of stuff in it. Couldn't find a good setup for the short run. And just really the lap traffic. It was really hard to get through a bunch of cars. But I had fun. I want to thank Slide Job for putting this together in Ford. Repeat, you've been broadcasting a lot, so thank you. Got to give a shout out to my boy Rick James.
Absolutely.
And thanks, guys.
I remember. Congratulations again. Good run, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Now moving on to the top 2 raw scores, only separated by 5 points, guys. 5 points. It's going to be ENEA coming home with 165. So I believe we have. Let's see. We do not have Conman, so we're going to talk to ENEA Shotgun again. So Shotgun, you guys, were pretty much even with SXRL early, and then stage 2, you guys seemed to struggle, but you guys poured it on back at the end and almost matched them at the end. So tell us, from a team perspective, how your race went, and how proud of you of the effort you guys put up tonight.
I mean, first off, I can't thank my team enough. We did so good through round 1, round 2. it was honestly very impressive. And to come back here into Michigan after getting eliminated at Daytona, to come back here to Michigan and a couple of days later, as a matter of fact, to show up here, be at least half decent without any practice, definitely is something to show for. It shows that we can compete and run well without practice. So it's definitely cool to see all of our guys run well. We're in top 10. I can't thank you guys enough for letting us be here. It sucks that we lost out by 5, but I mean, SXRL deserves it. They're definitely the better team than us. I mean, obviously they showed it.
Well, definitely going up against two of maybe the quote unquote favorites in the tournament, SXRL and NNR. You guys showed that you guys are one of the fastest out there and can hang with the big ones. So congratulations on that. We'll see how it shakes out, but 5 points can go either way. All right. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, if somebody would like to join ENEA or follow you guys as a fan, how can they do that?
Yeah, just hit myself up on Xbox, ENEA Shotgun or ENEA Comment, one of the two on Xbox, or you can let us know through Xbox. We can get you added to our Discord server and we can get you a tryout, and hopefully by after our playoffs are over, we can get you in and you can go and run for a championship, hopefully.
Absolutely. Check these guys out, man. They can hang with pretty much anybody, super fast all around, even on the road courses. So if you want a challenging league to join, you know where to go. All right. Last but not least, we're going to talk to SXRL, who came home with 170 points in total. Sebi's in the party. So, Sebi, you guys were on the chopping block tonight. You guys got stunned by American Ethanol in the third round, and everyone was like, whoa, what's going on? And you had to take down 4 other teams tonight. You guys came out in clutch by only 5 points and got the unofficial win. So, how proud are your guys, and how good does it feel to unofficially move on to the round of 8?
Well, first of all, it feels really good. That was a very tough race. For everyone, there was a lot of good cars in there, real good mixed bag of competition. And especially when you throw, 5 different teams in a pot at Michigan in a heavily. There was so much going on the whole race. It was nerve wracking from start to finish. Lucky and Timmy, they both stayed up front for majority of it. They got points in the stages. We had Doc, who got points in the first stage, and then he lagged out after the first stage. So we were, even more tense after that because we all needed good finishes, just to even compete and contend in the points battle. But obviously, we made it by the skin of our teeth somehow so far, unofficially. And I can't thank these guys all enough. I can't thank Trippy enough also for racing us very respectfully at the end. He had a fast car. He was running up and down the field with NCAR the whole time when they got caught up in wrecks. They just kept powering through, and I can't say enough about this team. These are some good fast drivers. They race with a lot of respect, and I wouldn't want anyone else out here.
Absolutely fantastic and well said. So if by chance you move on to the round of 8 on the short track, taking on the number 1 seed from the road courses, how are you going to prepare for Shake and Bake, who's so far put up 400 points on every opponent faced, and you already faced a tough opponent and struggled there, but it was a plate track. What do you think short tracks are going to suit your guys' skills better, and what are you going to do to try to take down those guys?
I think we'll do what everyone else has to do who advances, and we'll see what track we get selected, and we'll go practice, and we'll figure out what we got to do from there. Obviously, Shake and Bake is a great competitor. They got a bye for a reason because they're just fast. But we're going to go in there, we're going to race them, and see who the better team is.
Absolutely. Well, if you move on, good luck to you, sir, in the round of short track. And that wraps up the wild card event. So, we will be releasing the official results sometime tonight. There's going to be a lot of deliberations over what is submitted. However, I do want to mention this is going to be the big thing. As soon as the results come out tonight, those of you still in the Discord, please go and vote. There a channel will appear called Wild Card Vote. You will see both the 4 teams eliminated tonight, plus all the teams eliminated in round 2 and 1 that did not receive an unsportsmanlike penalty. You can vote for as many teams you want, and you have until 11:59 tomorrow and 11:59 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Time. Polls will close, and we will be awarding the fan vote to the top voted team to fill that 8th spot. So please go and vote for your favorite teams and get them through. So with that, I'd like to thank you guys for the conclusion of round 3 officially. We will be moving on to round 4 soon, so stay tuned for details on the round 3 recap show and the track drawing. As I mentioned before, the tracks for round 4 were handpicked. They will be Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond, and Iowa. So stay tuned for those best tracks out there as far as short tracks go for the Cup cars. They will be exciting, tons of action, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, I'm going to send it back up to the booth for their final thoughts.
All right, thank you very much. Hey, just a quick question, just in case anybody's got it in their mind as well. The fan vote, they would race eSpark, is that right?
The fan vote, actually, since Shake and Bake is at the bottom of the bracket facing the wild card, the other wild card goes all the way to the top. So they will indeed face American Ethanol.
American. All right, so there we go. Just in case anybody out there had the same question in my head, wondering who the fan vote would race, there you go. Heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Not calling you a horse at all. But, all right, Worm Rider, buddy, I tell you what, we've been talking all Fast Family League Showdown long about when we'd be able to get in here and call a race together. I'm glad we were able to finally do it, and I'm glad it was a race in Michigan that was full of so much energy, so much action, and a race that meant so much. Slide Job just introduced the team owners and where they can follow them. I know you're the man for IVRL. And on the bottom right-hand side of the screen in front of everybody, they can all see where they can catch you on Twitter at Worm Rider, where the E is actually number 3. But where else can these guys catch you?
Yeah, they can catch us. Like Randy said earlier, we've got the Twitter with the IVRL Racing and our Facebook. You can get in touch with Randy. He's got one set up on Twitter at Randy Henshaw. I'm glad I got to finally get in the booth with you. You've taught me a lot. I've learned a lot, and I pester you and Rick James both about everything. But I hate it was in the circumstances it was, but I enjoyed every bit of it. So if anybody's still out there, they looking to run, hit me, Randy Henshaw, anybody that's in IVRL, we'd be glad to have them. So, awesome race tonight. It was Lucky Dog got it again, and I was tickled to death.
Well, if you've been able to pick up anything from me, it's only because I had a great mentor. And that guy was also right here in the booth with us tonight, the one and only HD Motorsports. HD, your information's on the bottom of the screen as well. HD underscore Motorsports to follow you on Twitter. Not like you need a whole lot of an introduction. All those setup videos you did, Pro League Season 1, came that close to winning the championship when you were paired up with the Bear. But where else can everybody else find you, buddy?
Other than Twitter, man, Facebook gaming, vroom vroom vrooming, taking off.
Man, again, thank you very much for coming out. It was a pleasure having you here again. Always have a good time. But as for me, guys, repeat 1975. I definitely appreciate everybody that came out, followed. Somebody subscribed anonymously. Thank you very much. Outsider, he just followed. Beard Farmer, thank you very much for following. But we're gonna set this away for tonight. But as Sly Job just said, very soon we are gonna have the recap video. The official points will be out also very soon. I don't want to be in Sly Job's shoes having to go through all that. But until we meet again, please stay safe. As I always say, stay healthy, wear your mask, keep away, do what you got to do so we get all this done and over with and start meeting back up at the tracks again like we used to. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you around. Later.